There comes a time when we must examine the garden of our lives, discerning the seeds we've sown and the company we've kept. Relationships, like soil, either nourish us or drain us of our essence. When you pour your time, energy, and love into the wrong people, you do not merely waste effort, you hinder your divine expression. The people we allow into our lives are not random. They act as mirrors, reflecting the deepest aspects of our inner beliefs, fears, and desires. This is not merely a poetic observation, but a profound truth about the nature of human connections. The relationships we cultivate, whether they inspire joy or bring pain, are a direct manifestation of our own inner state. If we truly understood this principle, we would be more intentional about the company we keep, for each person is a reflection of the energy we hold within. When you encounter someone who uplifts and inspires you, it is a reflection of your own growth and self-worth. Their presence highlights the alignment between your inner state and the external world. In their encouragement and support, you see the manifestation of the love and belief you hold for yourself. On the other hand, when someone's presence leaves you feeling diminished, unworthy, or drained, this too is a reflection not of their nature alone, but of some aspect within you that has yet to be healed or recognized. They are holding a mirror to an unacknowledged part of your psyche, inviting you to examine what you believe you deserve. The mirror principle teaches us that the external world is a canvas on which our internal state is projected. Relationships, therefore, are opportunities for self-awareness and transformation. If you find yourself surrounded by those who take more than they give, criticize rather than encourage, or resist your growth, consider the possibility that their presence is a manifestation of your own insecurities or limiting beliefs. Perhaps you have been settling for less than you deserve because you have not fully embraced your worth. The lesson is not to judge or blame others, but to turn inward and address the root cause within yourself. At the heart of this principle is the realization that you are the creator of your reality. The people in your life are not there by accident. They are drawn to the energy you emit, which is shaped by your thoughts, feelings, and self-concept. If you consistently find yourself investing in people who fail to reciprocate, ask yourself, what belief within me is allowing this dynamic to persist? Do I feel unworthy of love, success, or respect? These questions are not easy to confront, but they hold the key to transforming your relationships. When you change your inner world, the external world must follow. If you begin to cultivate self-love, confidence, and a sense of worthiness, you will naturally attract people who reflect these qualities back to you. This is not a matter of luck or coincidence, it is the law of correspondence. Just as a mirror cannot show you a smile unless you smile first, the people in your life cannot reflect love and support unless you embody those qualities within yourself. This does not mean you must carry guilt or shame for the difficult relationships you have endured. Every person who enters your life serves a purpose, even those who bring pain or disappointment. They act as teachers, revealing what you need to see about yourself. Sometimes their role is to challenge you, to push you to set boundaries, or to encourage you to release what no longer serves you. In this way, even the wrong people are instrumental in your growth. Understanding the mirror principle also empowers you to make conscious choices. Once you recognize the reflective nature of relationships, you gain the clarity to discern who aligns with your highest good and who does not. You no longer invest in connections out of fear, obligation, or loneliness. Instead, you choose relationships that enhance your journey, relationships that mirror the love, joy, and abundance you wish to see in your life. Letting go of those who no longer align with your growth is not an act of cruelty, it is an act of self-respect. It is a declaration to the universe that you value your energy and will no longer waste it on relationships that do not reflect your highest potential. As you release these connections, you create space for new relationships that resonate with the person you are becoming. The beauty of the mirror principle is that it invites you to take full responsibility for your reality while offering the promise of transformation. If you do not like the reflections you see, you have the power to change them by working on yourself. By aligning your thoughts, beliefs, and actions with the life you desire, you will naturally attract people who reflect that vision back to you. They will appear as mirrors of your growth, encouraging you to continue evolving. The mirror principle is not about others, it is about you. It is a reminder that the world around you is a reflection of the world within you. As you honor your worth, embrace your potential, and live authentically, the people in your life will mirror these qualities back to you. They will serve as reminders of the beauty and power that already exist within, guiding you toward a life of harmony, abundance, and love. Your energy is the essence of who you are, the vital force that drives your thoughts, emotions, and actions. It is not infinite, it requires replenishment and protection, for it is through this energy that you create and navigate your life. Yet so often people give their energy away indiscriminately, investing in situations, people, and pursuits that do not honor or reciprocate its value. To understand that energy is sacred is to recognize its significance and to become intentional about where and how you channel it. Every interaction, whether a fleeting exchange or a deeply rooted relationship, involves the transfer of energy. When you engage with others, you are either pouring energy into them or receiving energy in return. Ideally, this exchange is balanced, a mutual flow that leaves both parties enriched. However, there are times when this balance is absent. You may find yourself giving far more than you receive, leaving you depleted, exhausted, and disconnected from your own vitality. This imbalance often stems from a lack of awareness of your energy's worth. When you do not value your energy, you allow it to be siphoned by those who do not appreciate or respect it. These are the situations and relationships that leave you feeling drained rather than nourished. They act as energetic black holes, consuming what you offer without giving anything of substance in return. Over time, this can lead to emotional fatigue, a diminished sense of self, and even physical exhaustion. To protect your energy, you must first become aware of where it is going. Reflect on the people and activities in your life. Are they uplifting, inspiring, and aligning with your values? Or do they feel burdensome, demanding more from you than they provide? By identifying the sources of energetic imbalance, you can begin to make conscious choices about where to direct your attention and effort. Setting boundaries is a vital part of this process. Boundaries are not about shutting people out, but about preserving your energy for what truly matters. They are an act of self-respect, a declaration that your energy is valuable and should not be taken for granted. When you set boundaries, you create a space in which your energy can be used intentionally, whether for personal growth, meaningful relationships, or creative pursuits. It is important to recognize that not everyone will honor your boundaries, and not everyone is meant to remain in your life. There will be those who resist your newfound clarity, who may even attempt to guilt or manipulate you into continuing to pour energy into them. This is where discernment becomes crucial. You must trust yourself enough to let go of relationships and situations that no longer serve your well-being. Doing so is not an act of selfishness, it is an act of self-preservation. At the same time, you must also be mindful of how you expend your energy on thoughts and emotions. Worry, fear, and resentment can drain your energy just as much as unbalanced relationships. These emotions often arise from dwelling on the past or fearing the future, pulling you away from the present moment, where your energy is most potent. By cultivating mindfulness and focusing on what is within your control, you can reclaim the energy that might otherwise be lost to unproductive mental patterns. Once you begin to protect your energy, you can channel it into pursuits that bring you joy, fulfillment, and growth. These are the activities and relationships that leave you feeling energized rather than depleted, that contribute to your well-being and align with your highest self. When you invest your energy in such ways, it multiplies, creating a positive feedback loop that enhances every aspect of your life. Remember, your energy is not just sacred, it is creative. It is through your energy that you manifest your desires, shape your reality, and influence the world around you. Every thought, every action, every interaction is a use of this sacred resource. When you understand this, you become more intentional, choosing to direct your energy toward what truly matters and letting go of what does not. To treat your energy as sacred is to honor yourself. It is to acknowledge that your well-being is not a luxury but a necessity, that you cannot pour from an empty cup. By prioritizing your energy, you give yourself the foundation to thrive, to build meaningful connections, and to pursue your passions with vigor and clarity. Your energy is your responsibility. No one else can protect it for you, and no one else can dictate how you use it. This is both a privilege and a challenge, requiring you to remain aware, intentional, and aligned with your values. But as you learn to treat your energy as the sacred force it is, you will find that your life transforms. You will attract people and experiences that uplift you, and you will have the strength and clarity to let go of what no longer serves you. In this way, you honor not only your energy, but also the unique and powerful being you are. Attachment is a natural part of human experience. We form bonds with people, possessions, and even ideas that bring us comfort, security, or joy. However, attachment becomes a burden when it is rooted in fear, dependency, or an unwillingness to let go. The weight of unhealthy attachment can be suffocating, binding us to things that no longer serve our growth or align with our highest good. It is essential to recognize when attachment hinders rather than nurtures, and to cultivate the courage to release what holds us back. At its core, attachment is the result of identifying something outside ourselves as essential to our happiness or identity. So we cling to relationships because we fear loneliness, hold on to material possessions because they provide a sense of worth, or refuse to release outdated beliefs because they have become the foundation of our comfort zones. Yet, these attachments often lead to stagnation. They create a dependency that limits our ability to evolve and explore the vast possibilities life has to offer. The weight of attachment manifests as resistance. It resists change, fearing the uncertainty that comes with letting go. This resistance can stifle growth, trapping us in cycles of dissatisfaction and frustration. We may know deep down that a certain relationship, job, or habit no longer aligns with who we are becoming, yet we hesitate to move on. Why? Because attachment whispers lies to us, convincing us that we cannot thrive without what we are holding on to. Consider the emotional toll of clinging to a relationship that has run its course. Instead of bringing joy or mutual growth, it becomes a source of conflict, stress, or unmet expectations. Yet the thought of releasing it feels unbearable, as if doing so would shatter a part of us. This is the illusion of attachment, the belief that our sense of self is intertwined with external circumstances. In reality, true freedom lies in realizing that nothing outside of ourselves is the source of our wholeness. Attachment also thrives on fear of loss, fear of change, and fear of the unknown. It convinces us that holding on is safer than letting go, even when what we are holding on to is weighing us down. But this fear is a barrier, a wall between us and the life we are meant to live. When we release attachment, we are not losing, we are making space for something better. We are shedding the unnecessary weight that prevents us from rising to our full potential. Letting go does not mean we stop caring. It means we stop controlling. It is about releasing the need to force outcomes or cling to things that no longer align with our highest good. It is an act of trust, a declaration that we believe in the flow of life and its ability to bring us what we truly need. Letting go allows us to honor the past while embracing the present and opening ourselves to the future. To release attachment, we must first cultivate awareness. Awareness begins with asking honest questions. What am I holding on to? Why am I so attached? Does this bring me joy? Or am I clinging out of fear? When we reflect on these questions, we begin to see the ways in which attachment has shaped our choices and constrained our freedom. This awareness is the first step toward liberation. Once we are aware, we must practice detachment. Detachment does not mean indifference, it means engaging with life without becoming entangled in it. It is the art of experiencing relationships, possessions, and situations fully, while remaining rooted in the understanding that they are not the source of our identity or happiness. Detachment frees us to love and appreciate without the need to control or possess. Detachment also requires faith. Faith in ourselves, in the process of life, and in the knowledge that what is meant for us will never miss us. When we trust that life is always working in our favor, we can release the fear that drives unhealthy attachment. We can let go of the weight that has kept us bound and step into the lightness of being free. The weight of attachment is heavy, but liberation is light. When we release what no longer serves us, we create space for growth, joy, and new possibilities. We discover that we are not defined by what we have or who we are with, but by the infinite potential within us. Releasing attachment is not an end, it is a beginning, a step toward a life of authenticity, peace, and boundless opportunity. Attachment is a lesson, a teacher guiding us to greater awareness of ourselves. Each time we release an attachment, we grow stronger, more aligned with our true selves. The weight of attachment may feel overwhelming, but with each step of letting go, we find that the burden lifts and we are free to soar toward the life we were always meant to live. Deep within each of us lies an inner voice, a quiet yet persistent guide that speaks in moments of stillness and clarity. It is not the voice of fear, doubt, or external influences, but a whisper of truth, intuition, and profound wisdom. To recognize your inner voice is to connect with the essence of who you are, the part of you that knows your path, your purpose, and the steps you must take to align with your highest potential. Yet, in a world filled with noise, distractions, and conflicting opinions, hearing this voice requires awareness, trust, and practice. Your inner voice is not loud or demanding, it does not clamor for your attention as the outer world often does. Instead, it speaks softly, offering guidance in moments when you need it most. It may come as a feeling in your gut, a sudden insight, or a persistent nudge in a certain direction. Unlike the chatter of the mind, which often oscillates between anxiety and overthinking, your inner voice is calm and assured. It carries a sense of knowing that transcends logic, a connection to something deeper and more profound. This voice begins with creating space for it. In the rush of daily life, it is easy to become so consumed with external demands that we neglect the inner world. The constant barrage of information, opinions, and expectations can drown out the quiet whispers of intuition. To hear your inner voice, you must first quiet the noise. This can be done through practices like meditation, journaling, or simply taking time to sit in silence. When you pause and turn inward, you create the conditions for your inner voice to emerge. Listening to your inner voice also requires trust. Too often, we second-guess our instincts, dismissing them as irrational or unfounded. We seek validation from others, looking outward for answers that can only truly be found within. But your inner voice is your truest guide, born of your experiences, wisdom, and connection to the greater whole. Trusting it means believing in your ability to make decisions that align with your authentic self, even when those decisions defy logic or contradict external advice. One of the greatest challenges to recognizing your inner voice is distinguishing it from the voice of fear. Fear masquerades as intuition, filling your mind with doubts and worst-case scenarios. It urges you to stay in your comfort zone, warning you against risks or change. Your inner voice, by contrast, encourages growth. It may guide you toward paths that feel uncertain or uncomfortable, but it does so with a sense of purpose and possibility. To discern between fear and intuition, pay attention to how each feels in your body. Fear often brings tension, unease, and confusion, while your inner voice evokes calmness, clarity, and a deep sense of rightness. The inner voice is not just a guide, it is also a reflection of your deepest desires and truths. It reveals what truly matters to you, beyond societal expectations or superficial goals. By listening to it, you align with your authentic self, making choices that resonate with who you are at your core. This alignment brings a sense of peace and fulfillment, even when the path is challenging. It reminds you that your journey is uniquely yours and that your worth is not determined by external measures of success. Your inner voice also means honoring it. When you hear its guidance, act on it. Ignoring your inner voice or pushing it aside in favor of external validation weakens your connection to it. Over time, this can lead to a sense of disconnection or confusion, as though you are living someone else's life rather than your own. Honoring your inner voice strengthens your intuition, building trust in yourself and your ability to navigate life's complexities. There will be moments when following your inner voice feels daunting. It may lead you to make decisions that others do not understand or approve of. It may require you to let go of familiar but unfulfilling patterns and step into the unknown. In these moments, remember that your inner voice is a compass, not a guarantee of ease. It does not promise a path free of obstacles, but it does promise a path that is true. Trusting it is an act of courage, a declaration that you are willing to prioritize authenticity over conformity. To recognize your inner voice is to reconnect with your essence, the part of you that is timeless, wise, and unshaken by the fleeting concerns of the outer world. It is a practice of self-awareness, requiring patience and persistence. But as you cultivate this connection, you will find that your inner voice becomes clearer, guiding you with unwavering certainty toward the life you are meant to live. In recognizing and trusting this voice, you reclaim your power, align with your truth, and discover the profound peace of living in harmony with your authentic self. The company you keep shapes the foundation of your life. It influences your thoughts, decisions, and ultimately your destiny. To thrive in this world, it is vital to surround yourself with builders, those who inspire, uplift, and contribute positively to your growth. Builders are the people who see your potential even when you doubt it yourself. They encourage you to aim higher, push through challenges, and create a life of meaning and purpose. In their presence, you do not simply exist, you expand, thrive, and build. Builders are not just individuals who support you passively. They are active participants in your journey, challenging you to dream bigger while helping you lay the groundwork to achieve those dreams. They hold you accountable, not by criticizing but by reminding you of your capabilities. Builders are visionaries in their own right, and their energy motivates you to become a visionary too. When you are in their presence, their passion is contagious, sparking a drive within you to pursue your goals relentlessly. To surround yourself with builders, you must first identify who they are. Builders are not necessarily the loudest voices in your life. They are not those who flatter or agree with you out of convenience. Instead, builders are those who challenge you to grow, who inspire you by their own actions, and who celebrate your progress without envy or competition. They may not always tell you what you want to hear, but they will always tell you what you need to hear. Builders prioritize honesty, growth, and mutual respect. Recognizing builders also requires discernment. Not everyone in your life will have your best interests at heart. Some may masquerade as supporters while subtly undermining your confidence or steering you toward paths that serve their agenda rather than yours. Builders, on the other hand, have no hidden motives. Their encouragement stems from a genuine desire to see you succeed. They understand that your success does not diminish their own, instead, it adds to the collective strength of the relationship. Builders are not limited to a specific role or relationship. They can be friends, mentors, colleagues, or even family members. What matters is not their title, but their energy, their ability to uplift and inspire you. They see the bigger picture and remind you to stay focused on your goals when distractions arise. They understand the value of perseverance and encourage you to keep going, even when the road gets tough. To cultivate relationships with builders, you must also strive to be a builder yourself. Relationships are reciprocal, and the energy you bring to the table often determines what you receive in return. Be the kind of person who uplifts others, who encourages their dreams, and who offers support without expecting anything in return. When you embody the qualities of a builder, you naturally attract others with the same mindset. Being a builder requires self-awareness and intention. It means avoiding negativity, gossip, or behaviors that drain energy from others. Instead, focus on fostering positivity and creating opportunities for mutual growth. Celebrate the successes of those around you and offer a helping hand when they face challenges. Builders thrive in communities where everyone contributes to the collective good, creating an environment of trust, support, and shared vision. Surrounding yourself with builders also means letting go of relationships that no longer serve your growth. This is not an act of selfishness but of self-preservation. If someone consistently drains your energy, undermines your confidence, or resists your progress, it may be time to re-evaluate their place in your life. Letting go of such relationships creates space for healthier, more supportive connections to enter. It allows you to focus your time and energy on relationships that nourish your soul and propel you forward. The presence of builders in your life is transformative. They remind you of your worth when self-doubt creeps in, and they push you to keep building even when the results are not yet visible. Builders teach you the value of persistence, patience, and resilience. They celebrate not just your achievements but the effort and dedication it took to get there. In their presence, you are not afraid to dream because you know you have a team of supporters who believe in your vision as much as you do. The decision to surround yourself with builders is a commitment to your growth. It is a choice to prioritize relationships that align with your values, goals, and aspirations. Builders are not just companions, they are co-creators of the life you are building. Their energy fuels your journey, and their belief in you becomes a cornerstone of your success. When you surround yourself with builders, you are reminded that you are never alone in your pursuit of greatness. Together, you create a foundation of strength, resilience, and limitless potential. In every life, there comes a moment when the weight of holding on becomes greater than the fear of letting go. We cling to people, memories, beliefs, and even pain, thinking they define us, or that without them, we will be lost. Yet the truth is, the act of release is not a loss, it is a liberation. To release is to free yourself from what no longer serves you, to unchain your spirit from burdens that keep you stagnant, and to create space for growth, healing, and transformation. The power of release is one of the most profound forces in life, a gateway to peace and renewal. When we hold on too tightly, we bind ourselves to the past. This attachment often stems from fear of the unknown, fear of change, or fear of facing life without the comfort of familiarity. We convince ourselves that letting go means abandoning something precious, even if that thing has caused us pain or limited our potential. But release is not an act of abandonment, it is an act of trust. It is a declaration that you believe in something greater ahead, that your worth is not tied to what you've lost but to what you are yet to become. Requires courage because it often involves confronting uncomfortable truths. Perhaps the person you've held on to is not capable of giving you the love you deserve. Maybe the dream you once cherished no longer aligns with the person you've grown into. Or it could be that the story you tell yourself about your limitations is nothing more than a false narrative rooted in fear. Whatever the case, the act of release asks you to face these realities and accept them without judgment. In this acceptance lies the seed of transformation. The power of release is not just about letting go of external things, it is also about releasing the internal weights that hinder your growth. Resentment, guilt, anger, and regret are heavy burdens to carry. They consume your energy and rob you of the joy and freedom that come with living in the present moment. Releasing these emotions does not mean denying them or pretending they never existed. It means acknowledging them, understanding their lessons, and then choosing to set them down. You do not need to carry the weight of every hurt, every mistake, or every disappointment. Release them, and in their place, you will find lightness and clarity. When you release, you make space for new beginnings. Imagine a clenched fist gripping tightly to something. As long as the fist remains closed, it cannot receive anything new. But when the hand opens, it becomes ready to accept. The same is true in life. By letting go of what no longer serves you, you create room for new opportunities, relationships, and experiences to flow into your life. The act of release is an act of faith in the abundance of life, a belief that what is meant for you will find its way to you when you are ready to receive it. Release also teaches you the art of surrender. Surrender is not about giving up or resigning yourself to defeat. It is about trusting the flow of life, recognizing that some things are beyond your control, and choosing to let go of the struggle. When you release the need to control every outcome, you align yourself with the natural rhythms of life. This alignment brings peace, for you are no longer fighting against the current but flowing with it. You learn to trust the process, knowing that life is always working for your highest good. The act of release is deeply healing. It allows you to break free from cycles of pain and repetition, to step out of patterns that have held you captive. As you release, you reclaim your power, the power to choose, to move forward, and to create a life that reflects your true self. You are no longer defined by what you've lost or what you've let go of. Instead, you are defined by your ability to rise, to transform, and to embrace the limitless possibilities that await. Releasing does not mean forgetting. It does not mean that the people, experiences, or emotions you let go of were insignificant. On the contrary, it honors their role in your journey. Release is a way of saying, thank you for the lessons, but I no longer need to carry you. It is an act of gratitude and wisdom, a recognition that everything has its season, and that your life is an evolving story. The power of release is a gift you give to yourself. It is an act of love, a declaration that you are worthy of peace, freedom, and the life you desire. When you release, you let go of the chains that bind you to the past and step boldly into the present, ready to create a future filled with light and possibility. Trust in the power of release, and you will discover the profound freedom and joy that come from letting go. In life, the art of release is both a challenge and a blessing. It calls us to let go of the weights that no longer serve us, to trust in the flow of life, and to create space for growth, healing, and renewal. Releasing is not an act of loss but of liberation, a powerful declaration of faith in the boundless possibilities that lie ahead. It teaches us to surrender control, embrace change, and align with the rhythms of life, knowing that what is meant for us will always find its way. As you embrace the power of release, remember that it is a gift you give to yourself, a gift of freedom, clarity, and peace. By letting go of the past and the burdens you carry, you reclaim your energy, your purpose, and your joy. You are not defined by what you leave behind, but by the strength and courage with which you move forward. Thank you for allowing me to share this journey of reflection and transformation with you. May you find the courage to release, the wisdom to heal, and the strength to build the life you truly deserve. Beloved, the path to rebuilding yourself begins within, in the sacred temple of your own mind. Your current life is but a shadow of what you have believed about yourself. If you wish to rise, to rebuild, then you must shift the foundation of your being. Imagination is the most powerful tool you possess, the divine spark within you that shapes and molds the world around you. Everything you see, every experience you encounter, began as an idea in the mind of someone who dared to imagine it. Your imagination is not merely a whimsical daydream or a fleeting escape from reality. It is the very foundation of creation itself. When you harness it, you hold the key to transforming not just your circumstances, but your very identity. To rebuild yourself, you must first acknowledge this truth: your life as it stands today is the result of the images you have consistently entertained in your mind. The life you desire, the strength, the success, the peace already exists within the boundless realm of your imagination. But you must give it form, breathe life into it, and nurture it as though it were a living thing. This is not a passive process, but an act of deliberate creation. Begin by closing your eyes to the world of facts and opening the inner eye of your mind. What do you see? What version of yourself appears before you? If it is not the person you wish to become, then know that you have the power to change it. Picture yourself as the individual you aspire to be, not in some distant future, but right now, in this very moment. See yourself walking with confidence, achieving your goals, radiating joy and fulfillment. The clearer and more vivid this image, the more powerful its effect. Do not simply see this new self, feel it. Imagine what it would feel like to live that life, to embody that version of you. Feel the exhilaration of success, the warmth of love, or the peace of freedom. The feeling is the secret. It is not enough to think about change. You must feel as though it has already occurred. When you do this, your subconscious mind accepts this new reality as truth and begins to align your actions, decisions, and even the circumstances of your life to bring it into being. The beauty of imagination lies in its boundlessness. There are no restrictions, no limitations, except those you impose upon yourself. If you dare to dream boldly, to imagine yourself soaring higher than ever before, then you set the stage for a life beyond your wildest expectations. But if your vision is small and confined, your results will mirror that constraint. Give yourself permission to dream freely, to explore the vast potential within you without fear or doubt. It is crucial to understand that imagination is not just idle fantasy. What you consistently imagine, you eventually become. The mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. This is why you must guard your thoughts and ensure that your mental imagery aligns with the life you desire. When you allow fear, doubt, or negativity to dominate your imagination, you unknowingly create more of the very things you wish to avoid. In moments of solitude, when the world is quiet, take time to dwell in your imagination. This is your sacred space, a sanctuary where you can rehearse the life you wish to live. Let this practice become a daily ritual, a time when you withdraw from the noise of the world and reconnect with your inner vision. The more you do this, the more real your imagined life will feel, and the more effortlessly it will begin to manifest in your external reality. Doubt will undoubtedly creep in, whispering that your imagination is foolish, that reality is fixed, and that change is impossible. Do not listen. Doubt is the enemy of creation, the voice of limitation that seeks to keep you bound to the status quo. Instead, trust in the power of your imagination. Trust that what you see and feel within is more real than the appearances of the outer world. For the outer world is nothing but a reflection of the inner. When you commit to living from your imagination, you step into the role of creator. You are no longer at the mercy of circumstances, but the architect of your destiny. You begin to see that life does not happen to you, it happens through you. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to reshape your vision, every setback a chance to refine your image of the future. It may take time for the outer world to catch up with your inner vision, but do not be discouraged. Seeds do not sprout the moment they are planted, yet beneath the surface they are growing, reaching for the light. Your imagined self is the same. Persist in seeing it, feeling it, and believing in it, even when the evidence around you suggests otherwise. This persistence is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, between imagination and reality. As you continue to rebuild yourself through the power of imagination, you will notice subtle shifts. Your thoughts will become more aligned with your vision, your actions will reflect your new identity, and opportunities will arise seemingly out of nowhere. These are not coincidences, but the natural consequences of your inner transformation. So dare to imagine. Dare to see yourself not as you are, but as you wish to be. Dare to dream a life that feels impossible, and then live as though it is already yours. The power to rebuild yourself is already within you, waiting to be unleashed. All it takes is the courage to close your eyes to the world of facts and open them to the infinite possibilities of your imagination. In doing so, you will discover that you are not only capable of rebuilding yourself, but of creating a life that exceeds your wildest dreams. To assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled is to step into the experience of your desired life as though it is already yours. It is not a mere exercise of thought, but an act of living internally in the state of your fulfilled desire. This concept is the key to transformation and the essence of true creation. By assuming the feeling, you align your inner world with the reality you wish to experience, allowing it to manifest naturally in the physical world. Creation begins within you. Your life is a reflection of your inner state, your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. To change your life, you must first change how you feel about it. Feeling is the language of the subconscious mind, and the subconscious is the engine that drives your experiences. It does not question or rationalize, it simply accepts what you consistently feel as true and works to bring it into your reality. Therefore, to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled is to plant the seed of your desire deep in the fertile soil of your subconscious. This process requires that you detach from the present circumstances that may seem contrary to your desires. The external world is merely a reflection of your past states of mind. If you allow yourself to be controlled by what you see and hear, you remain bound to the same patterns. Instead, you must cultivate the ability to close your eyes to the world of appearances and open your mind to the vision of your fulfilled desire. When you do this, you are no longer reacting to the world, you are creating it. Imagine, for example, that you desire greater financial abundance. Begin by closing your eyes and picturing yourself living the life you associate with that abundance. See yourself enjoying the freedom, the opportunities, and the security that wealth brings. But do not stop there. Feel it. Feel the sense of relief, the joy, the gratitude, and the confidence that come with having your desire fulfilled. Let these feelings fill you completely until they become as real as the air you breathe. The feeling is the bridge between your current reality and the one you wish to create. It acts as a magnetic force, drawing to you the circumstances, people, and opportunities that align with your new state. When you feel as though your wish is already fulfilled, you are no longer striving or yearning for it. Instead, you are living from it. This shift is subtle but profound. It transforms your relationship with your desire, turning it from something you hope for into something you already possess. To assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you must train your mind to dwell in the desired state, even when external evidence contradicts it. This requires faith, a deep, unwavering belief in the unseen. Faith is not blind optimism. It is the knowing that what you feel and believe within will inevitably find expression in your life. This faith empowers you to persist, even when doubt arises, or when the world seems unchanged. Doubt is often the greatest obstacle to assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It whispers that your desire is too big, too unrealistic, or too far away. But doubt only has power if you give it attention. When doubt arises, gently return to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Remind yourself that the world outside is only a reflection of your inner state. By staying anchored in the feeling, you neutralize doubt and reinforce your new reality. This practice is not about ignoring the present or pretending that challenges do not exist. It is about choosing to focus on the reality you wish to create, rather than being consumed by the one you wish to change. As you persist in assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you will notice a shift. Your thoughts will align with your new state, your actions will reflect your desired reality, and the world around you will begin to change in ways that seem almost magical. One of the most effective ways to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled is through visualization. Find a quiet place where you will not be disturbed. Close your eyes and imagine a scene that represents your fulfilled desire. Make it vivid, detailed, and full of life. See the colors, hear the sounds, and most importantly, feel the emotions. For instance, if your desire is to own a home, imagine walking through its rooms, feeling the textures, and basking in the joy of knowing it is yours. Repeat this exercise daily, allowing the feeling to grow stronger with each session. Gratitude is another powerful tool for assuming the feeling. When you feel grateful for your desire as though it has already been fulfilled, you signal to the universe that you trust the process. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, creating a powerful resonance with your desired state. Each day, take a moment to give thanks for the fulfillment of your desire. Feel the gratitude as deeply as you can, and let it flow through every part of your being. This practice requires consistency and discipline. It is not enough to assume the feeling once, and then return to old patterns of thought and emotion. You must persist in living from the state of your fulfilled desire until it becomes second nature. Over time, this new state will solidify and your external world will conform to it. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are not waiting for your desire to appear, you are living as though it already has. This is the essence of true creation, knowing that your inner state shapes your outer world, and that the fulfillment of your desire is inevitable. Trust the process, persist in the feeling, and watch as your life transforms in ways that exceed your imagination. To rebuild yourself, you must first release the old identity, the version of you that no longer serves your higher purpose. This is the foundation of transformation, for you cannot build a new life on the remnants of the past. The person you were, shaped by past beliefs, experiences, and limitations, must dissolve to make way for the person you are becoming. Releasing the old identity is not merely a symbolic act, it is a deliberate process of shedding, unlearning, and letting go of all that keeps you tied to a life that feels too small for your soul. Your identity is a collection of stories you have told yourself, often unconsciously. These stories are formed by experiences, societal expectations, and the influence of others. They dictate how you see yourself, how you act, and what you believe you deserve. But just because these stories have been repeated in your mind does not make them true. They are constructs, and like any construct, they can be dismantled. The first step in releasing the old identity is awareness. You must become aware of the thoughts, patterns, and beliefs that define your current self. What do you say about yourself when no one is listening? What limitations do you accept without question? Perhaps you believe you are not talented enough, not worthy of love, or not capable of achieving your dreams. These beliefs are not truths, they are remnants of a self you are ready to outgrow. Once you are aware of these limiting beliefs, you must confront them. Ask yourself, who told me this? Where did this belief come from? Often you will find that these beliefs were imposed upon you by others, parents, teachers, peers, or born out of painful experiences. But the origins of these beliefs are not as important as recognizing that they are no longer valid. They may have served a purpose in the past, perhaps as a form of protection or survival, but they are no longer aligned with who you wish to become. Releasing the old identity requires a willingness to let go of the familiar, even when the familiar feels safe. It is human nature to cling to what we know, even if it causes us pain, because it provides a sense of certainty. But growth demands that you step into the unknown. You must be willing to face the discomfort of change, trusting that the new identity you are creating is worth the temporary unease. One of the most effective ways to release the old identity is to detach from labels. The labels you wear, good or bad, are part of the old self. Perhaps you have labeled yourself as shy, unworthy, or incapable. Or perhaps you have been labeled by others, accepting their definitions of who you are. These labels are not your essence, they are limitations. Begin to see yourself not as a fixed identity, but as a fluid being, capable of infinite change and reinvention. Forgiveness is another powerful tool in releasing the old identity. Forgive yourself for the mistakes you have made, the opportunities you have missed, and the times you have fallen short of your own expectations. These moments do not define you, they are simply lessons on your journey. Forgive others as well, not for their sake but for your own. Holding on to resentment ties you to the past and reinforces the old self. Letting go of resentment is an act of liberation, freeing you to step into the fullness of your potential. As you release the old identity, you may encounter resistance not only from within but also from others. People around you may struggle to accept your transformation, clinging to the version of you they have always known. This is natural, but it is not your burden to bear. You are not obligated to remain the same for the comfort of others. True transformation requires courage, and part of that courage is standing firm in your decision to grow, even when others resist. A practical way to reinforce the release of the old identity is to create rituals of letting go. Write down the beliefs, habits, and patterns you wish to leave behind. Be specific. Then, in a symbolic act, destroy the paper, burn it, tear it, or bury it. As you do, declare your intention to release these aspects of yourself. This ritual is a physical representation of an internal shift, helping your mind and spirit align with your decision. Once you have released the old identity, you must replace it with the vision of your new self. Nature abhors a vacuum, and if you do not fill the void left by the old self, you risk slipping back into familiar patterns. Visualize the person you are becoming, how they think, feel, and act. Begin to embody that version of yourself, even in small ways. Each step you take in alignment with your new identity reinforces the transformation. Understand that releasing the old identity is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process. There will be moments when old thoughts resurface, or when you feel the pull of past habits. Do not see this as failure, but as an opportunity to reaffirm your commitment to change. With each moment of choice, you strengthen your new self and weaken the hold of the old. Releasing the old identity is an act of self-love. It is a declaration that you are worthy of growth, worthy of change, and worthy of the life you desire. It is a process of peeling away the layers that no longer serve you, revealing the infinite potential that has always been within. Trust this process, for as you let go of who you were, you make space for who you are meant to be, and in that space miracles happen. Persistence in the new state is the cornerstone of transformation. To step into a new reality, you must remain steadfast in your chosen state of being, regardless of external circumstances or fleeting doubts. The new state, the version of yourself that embodies your desired reality, must become your anchor, your identity, and the place from which you live, think, and act. This is not a passive process, but an active commitment to holding steady in the feeling of your wish fulfilled until it crystallizes into your external world. When you decide to adopt a new state, you are essentially choosing to shift your consciousness. Your current reality is a reflection of your previous states of being, the habitual thoughts, emotions, and beliefs you have entertained. To persist in the new state means to break free from the gravitational pull of the old state, which may still attempt to assert itself. This requires resolve, discipline, and a deep faith in the unseen. The greatest challenge in persisting in the new state is the temptation to revert to the familiar. The old state, with its well-worn patterns and predictable outcomes, can feel comfortable even if it no longer serves you. It may manifest as doubt, fear, or a need for immediate evidence of change. But true transformation requires that you prioritize your inner reality over your outer one. Even when the world around you appears unchanged, you must remain unwavering in your belief that your new state is real and inevitable. Persistence begins with clarity. You must clearly define the new state you wish to embody. Who are you in this state? What does your life look like? How do you feel, think, and behave? The more vividly you can imagine and feel this new state, the easier it becomes to align with it. Clarity is the foundation upon which you build your persistence, as it gives you a specific destination to focus on. Feeling is the key to persistence. It is not enough to think about the new state intellectually, you must feel it emotionally. Feeling creates resonance between your inner world and the reality you desire. So, when you feel as though your desire is already fulfilled, you signal to your subconscious mind that this is your truth. Your subconscious then begins to orchestrate circumstances to align with that truth. This feeling must become a constant companion, a state you return to repeatedly throughout the day. Persistence also requires vigilance. Your mind is a powerful tool, but it can easily drift back into old patterns if left unchecked. Pay attention to your thoughts and emotions, and redirect them when they stray from your desired state. If you find yourself dwelling on doubt or negativity, gently remind yourself of your new reality. Use affirmations, visualization, or moments of stillness to reconnect with the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Over time, this practice becomes second nature, and your new state becomes the dominant tone of your inner world. The external world often acts as a mirror of your internal state, but it reflects your past states rather than your present efforts. This can be disheartening if you expect immediate results. Understand that the external world operates with a delay. It takes time for your new state to imprint itself onto physical reality. During this period, it is essential to persist, trusting that the changes you seek are already unfolding behind the scenes. Faith is your ally in this process. Faith is not blind optimism or wishful thinking, it is the deep conviction that your inner reality is more real than the outer appearances. When you persist in the new state with faith, you cultivate a sense of certainty that cannot be shaken by temporary setbacks or lack of evidence. This faith sustains you during moments of doubt and reinforces your commitment to the new state. Another essential aspect of persistence is detachment. While you hold the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you must also release the need to control how and when it manifests. Detachment does not mean indifference, it means trusting the process and allowing the universe to unfold in its own way. Clinging to specific outcomes or timelines only reinforces a state of lack. By letting go of the how, you open yourself to possibilities far greater than what you could have imagined. Persistence in the new state is not about perfection. There will be moments when old habits resurface or when you feel disconnected from your desired reality. Do not see these moments as failures, they are simply opportunities to realign. Every time you choose to return to your new state, you strengthen its hold on your consciousness and weaken the influence of the old. Persistence is a practice, not a one-time decision. As you persist in the new state, you will begin to notice subtle shifts. Your thoughts will align more naturally with your desired reality, your emotions will stabilize in harmony with it, and your actions will flow effortlessly from it. These shifts may start small, but they are powerful indicators that your transformation is taking root. Celebrate these changes, no matter how minor they seem, as they reinforce your faith and commitment. The beauty of persistence is that it transforms not only your external circumstances but also your sense of self. As you consistently live from your new state, it becomes who you are. You no longer have to try to embody, it becomes your natural way of being. This is the point at which your new reality manifests effortlessly as a reflection of your true self. In persisting in the new state, you are engaging in the most profound act of creation. You are not merely waiting for change, you are becoming the change. This requires patience, discipline, and unwavering belief, but the rewards are immeasurable. When you persist, you align yourself with the infinite potential within you, stepping into a life that is not only desired but also deserved. Trust in this process, and you will discover that persistence is the bridge between imagination and reality. Faith in the unseen is the foundation upon which all transformation is built. It is the quiet, unshakable belief in a reality that has not yet materialized, a trust in the intangible forces that shape our lives. This faith is not blind or naive, it is a deliberate choice to align with the deeper truths of existence, where what you hold within your consciousness ultimately defines what you experience in the external world. Faith in the unseen is the bridge between desire and fulfillment, between the imagined and the realized. To possess faith in the unseen is to acknowledge that your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. The circumstances you encounter, the relationships you form, and the opportunities that arise are all echoes of your dominant thoughts and feelings. While the outer world appears to be solid and unyielding, it is, in truth, fluid and malleable, shaped by the unseen forces of your imagination and belief. Faith in the unseen means trusting in this process, even when no tangible evidence yet exists to confirm it. One of the greatest challenges in cultivating faith is overcoming the need for immediate proof. The human mind is conditioned to rely on the senses to see, hear, and touch as a way of validating reality. Yet the senses are limited, they perceive only what already exists, not what is possible. Faith requires you to transcend these limitations, to hold fast to a vision of what could be rather than what is. It demands that you trust in the creative power of your thoughts and feelings, knowing that they will eventually manifest in the physical world. Faith in the unseen is not a passive waiting but an active state of being. It is the choice to live as though your desired reality is already true. This means thinking, feeling, and acting in alignment with your vision, even when external circumstances suggest otherwise. For example, if you seek abundance, faith requires you to adopt the mindset of someone who is already abundant, to feel gratitude, generosity, and confidence as though wealth were already yours. If you seek love, faith asks you to embody the qualities of love, kindness, openness, and joy before it appears in your life. Doubt is the greatest enemy of faith. It creeps in when the outer world seems unchanged, whispering that your efforts are in vain and your dreams are unreachable. But doubt is merely a reflection of old patterns and beliefs, remnants of the past that no longer serve you. Faith is the antidote to doubt, a declaration that you trust the unseen forces working on your behalf, even when the evidence is not yet visible. To sustain faith, you must cultivate a deep sense of inner conviction, a knowing that transcends logic and reason. The power of faith lies in its ability to shift your vibration. Everything in the universe operates on frequency, and your thoughts and feelings emit a signal that attracts corresponding experiences. When you maintain faith in the unseen, you align your vibration with your desired reality, creating a resonance that draws it closer. This alignment is subtle but profound, influencing the people, events, and opportunities that come into your life. Faith is the energetic signature of belief, the invisible thread that weaves your desires into existence. Faith in the unseen also requires patience. The unfolding of your desires follows a divine timing that often differs from your own. This timing is not arbitrary but precise, ensuring that what you seek arrives when you are truly ready to receive it. Impatience is a sign of mistrust, an attempt to force or control the process. Faith, on the other hand, is a surrender to the natural flow of creation, a willingness to allow the universe to work in its own perfect way. Trust that the delays you experience are not denials, but preparations for something greater. One of the most profound aspects of faith in the unseen is its transformative effect on the individual. When you choose faith, you step into a higher state of consciousness, one that is free from fear, doubt, and limitation. Faith expands your perception, allowing you to see possibilities where before you saw obstacles. It strengthens your resilience, enabling you to persist in the face of challenges. Most importantly, it reconnects you to the infinite power within you, the power to create, to heal, and to transform. Faith in the unseen is not something you cultivate once and then forget. It is a daily practice, a choice you make moment by moment. Life will test your faith, presenting you with circumstances that seem to contradict your desires. These tests are not meant to discourage you, but to strengthen your resolve. Each time you choose faith over fear, you reinforce your connection to the unseen forces of creation and deepen your trust in the process. To live with faith in the unseen is to live with courage. It is the courage to believe in your own worthiness, to trust in the goodness of life, and to hold fast to your vision, even when the path is unclear. It is the courage to release control, to surrender to a higher intelligence, and to embrace the mystery of the unknown. Faith is not a sign of weakness but of strength, for it requires you to stand firm in your truth, despite the ever-changing tides of the external world. Faith in the unseen is an act of love for yourself, love for the possibilities of life, and love for the divine force that connects all things. It is a recognition that you are not separate from the source of creation, but an integral part of it. When you hold faith in the unseen, you align with this truth, stepping into the role of a conscious creator. You become a vessel through which miracles can flow, not because you have seen them with your eyes, but because you have believed in them with your heart. Silencing the doubts that arise within your mind is essential for creating the life you desire. Doubts are the voices of fear, insecurity, and past conditioning. They are the echoes of old beliefs that no longer serve you, arising when you dare to imagine a reality beyond what you've known. Yet these doubts hold no true power over you unless you choose to give them your attention and belief. To silence them is not to suppress or ignore them, but to master them, transforming them from obstacles into stepping stones on your journey to fulfillment. Doubt is natural in the process of change. When you set your sights on something new, your mind often clings to the familiar, resisting the unknown. This resistance manifests as doubt, questioning your worthiness, your capabilities, or the likelihood of success. But understand, this doubt is not truth. It is merely a reflection of old patterns and limited perspectives. It arises from a mind conditioned to see only what has already occurred, blind to the infinite possibilities of the present moment. To silence doubt, you must first recognize its nature. Doubt thrives on fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of disappointment. It is a protective mechanism designed to keep you within the boundaries of your comfort zone. While this might seem like self-preservation, it often prevents you from growing, evolving, and experiencing the life you truly desire. By acknowledging doubt for what it is, a habitual response, not an inherent truth, you take the first step toward neutralizing its influence. Your imagination is the antidote to doubt. The mind cannot hold two opposing beliefs at once. When doubt whispers its limitations, you must counter it with the vivid, unwavering vision of your desired reality. Close your eyes and immerse yourself in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Feel the joy, peace, and satisfaction of already having what you seek. This act of imagining is not a mere distraction. It is a deliberate realignment of your focus from what you fear to what you believe is possible. The more you practice this, the weaker doubt becomes. overshadowed by the strength of your vision. Doubt often feeds on evidence from the outer world. When you see no immediate change or when circumstances seem contrary to your desires, doubt seizes the opportunity to grow. This is why it is crucial to prioritize your inner reality over the outer. Understand that the external world is a lagging indicator, reflecting your previous thoughts and feelings rather than your current intentions. By remaining steadfast in your inner belief, regardless of external appearances, you starve doubt of the validation it craves. Affirmations are a powerful tool for silencing doubt. They serve as declarations of your truth, statements that affirm your desired reality as though it were already here. When doubt arises, repeat affirmations that align with your vision. I am capable. I am worthy. My desires are unfolding perfectly. Speak these words, not as empty phrases, but with conviction, allowing them to resonate deeply within you. Over time, these affirmations reprogram your subconscious mind, replacing doubt with confidence and certainty. Another essential practice in silencing doubt is mindfulness. Doubt often thrives in a mind that is scattered, constantly replaying past failures or worrying about future outcomes. Mindfulness grounds you in the present moment, where doubt has no foothold. Through practices such as meditation or simply taking deep, conscious breaths, you can quiet the mental chatter and reconnect with the stillness within. In this stillness, the voice of doubt fades, revealing the clarity and wisdom of your true self. Action is a potent remedy for doubt. Often, doubt paralyzes you, keeping you from taking the steps necessary to bring your desires to life. But action, no matter how small, builds momentum and reinforces belief. Each step you take toward your goal, even in the face of uncertainty, is a declaration of faith. With every action, you gather evidence of your capability and power, gradually silencing the voice of doubt with the undeniable proof of your progress. It is also important to guard your mental environment. Surround yourself with people, ideas, and influences that uplift and inspire you. Doubt thrives in negativity, feeding on criticism and pessimism. Seek out those who encourage your dreams, who believe in your vision, and who remind you of your potential. Consume content that aligns with the reality you wish to create. Books, speeches, or conversations that reinforce your faith in yourself and the possibilities of life. Compassion for yourself is key in this process. There will be times when doubt feels overwhelming, when it seems to drown out your vision and shake your belief. In these moments, do not berate yourself for feeling uncertain. Instead, treat yourself with kindness and patience, understanding that doubt is part of the journey. Remind yourself that even the most confident individuals face doubt. What sets them apart is their willingness to persist despite it. Trust in the unseen forces that support you. Whether you call it the universe, divine intelligence, or your higher self, know that there is a power greater than doubt at work in your life. This power responds to your faith, your persistence, and your willingness to step beyond fear. When you align with it, doubt loses its grip, overshadowed by the infinite potential that flows through you. Silencing doubt is not about eliminating it entirely. It is about refusing to let it dictate your actions or beliefs. It is about choosing to believe in yourself and your vision, even when the path ahead seems unclear. With each moment of persistence, each act of faith, you weaken the hold of doubt and strengthen your connection to the life you are creating. Doubt may whisper, but your truth can roar louder. Trust in that truth and let it guide you toward the fulfillment of your deepest desires. To act from the future rather than the past is to step into the realm of creation. It is a conscious choice to align yourself with the reality you desire, rather than being tethered to the limitations of what has already occurred. Most people live their lives reacting to their past. Old memories, mistakes, and beliefs dictate their present actions and decisions. Yet the power to transform your life lies in recognizing that you are not bound by your past. Instead, you can choose to embody the version of yourself that already exists in the future you desire, allowing that vision to shape your actions in the present moment. Acting from the future requires a shift in perception. The mind often clings to the familiar because it equates the known with safety. This is why so many find themselves repeating the same patterns, unable to break free from cycles of doubt, fear, or limitation. But the future you long for does not lie in the repetition of the past. It is born from new thoughts, new emotions, and new actions. To act from the future means imagining yourself already living in the reality you wish to create, and allowing that vision to guide your every step. The key to acting from the future is to identify with it fully. This means letting go of the identity that ties you to past experiences and embracing the identity of the person you desire to become. If you seek to be successful, begin to think, feel, and behave as a successful person would. If you desire love, embody the qualities of someone who is deeply loved and loving. This is not pretense or wishful thinking, it is a deliberate act of creation. By aligning your present actions with your future self, you set into motion the forces that will bring your vision into reality. Your imagination is the bridge between your present and your future. When you vividly imagine yourself living your desired life, you are not merely daydreaming, you are accessing a higher level of consciousness where all possibilities exist. Close your eyes and see yourself already in possession of what you seek. Feel the emotions associated with that reality: joy, confidence, peace, or love. These feelings are the magnetic forces that draw your future into your present. The more you dwell in the state of your future self, the more your actions will naturally align with that reality. Acting from the future also requires a conscious decision to release the weight of the past. The past can feel like a heavy anchor, keeping you stuck in patterns that no longer serve you. Perhaps you've been conditioned to believe that certain dreams are unattainable, or that your worth is determined by past failures. But these beliefs are illusions. The past has no power except the power you give it. To act from the future, you must forgive yourself and others for past mistakes, release regret, and free yourself from the narrative that you are limited by what has been. One of the challenges of acting from the future is overcoming the doubt and fear that arise when your current circumstances seem far removed from your desired reality. The outer world may try to convince you that change is impossible or that your dreams are unrealistic. But remember, the outer world is merely a reflection of your past inner state. It is not a predictor of your future. Trust in the unseen forces that respond to your intentions. Act as if your future is already here, even when external evidence is lacking. Your consistent belief and action will eventually align your outer world with your inner vision. Patience is a vital aspect of acting from the future. The process of creation unfolds in divine timing, often requiring you to persist in your belief and actions even when results are not immediate. Impatience is a sign of doubt, a signal that you are still tied to the idea that the present circumstances hold more power than your vision. Trust that every step you take from the perspective of your future self is a step closer to realizing that future. The seeds you plant today will bear fruit in due time. Acting from the future does not mean ignoring the present moment. On the contrary, it requires deep awareness and presence. It is about consciously choosing how you respond to your current circumstances, ensuring that your responses align with your desired reality rather than your old patterns. Each moment presents an opportunity to act from a place of creation rather than reaction. By doing so, you reinforce your connection to your future self and strengthen the bridge between your current and desired realities. Surround yourself with influences that support your vision. The environment you immerse yourself in can either reinforce your past or inspire your future. Seek out people, ideas, and experiences that reflect the reality you wish to create. When you expose yourself to these influences, you train your mind to see possibilities rather than limitations. This practice strengthens your ability to act from the future, as it keeps your vision alive and vibrant in your consciousness. To act from the future is to trust in your inherent power to create. It is a declaration that you are not a victim of your circumstances, but the architect of your reality. When you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your desired future, you bring that future into the present. This is not magic or wishful thinking, it is the natural law of creation. You become what you believe yourself to be. Act from the future, not the past, and watch as your life transforms to match the vision you hold within. Gratitude for the present moment is a profound practice that unlocks the fullness of life. It is the conscious choice to appreciate what is here and now, not as a result of circumstances, but as an acknowledgement of the inherent abundance within and around you. Gratitude is not merely about listing things you are thankful for. It is a shift in awareness, a deep connection to the present that allows you to see the beauty, value, and opportunities that exist even in the simplest moments. When you cultivate gratitude, you align yourself with the frequency of abundance. The world around you becomes a reflection of this inner state, offering you more to be grateful for. Gratitude is not dependent on what you have or lack. It is a state of being, independent of conditions. It invites you to stop waiting for some future event or possession to feel fulfilled, and instead opens your eyes to the richness of what already exists. It shifts your focus from what is missing to what is present. The human mind is often drawn to lack, constantly identifying what is wrong or incomplete. This focus creates feelings of frustration, dissatisfaction, and longing. But when you choose gratitude, you redirect your attention to what is already working in your life. This shift transforms your energy, moving you from a state of need to a state of fulfillment. By appreciating what you have now, you signal to the universe that you are ready to receive more. But the present moment is all you truly have, and gratitude anchors you to it. The past is a memory, the future a projection. Only the now is real. Gratitude deepens your connection to this reality, reminding you that life unfolds in the here and now. When you embrace the present with gratitude, you become more aware of the small blessings that often go unnoticed: the warmth of the sun, the breath flowing through your body, the presence of a loved one. These seemingly ordinary moments take on extraordinary meaning when seen through the lens of gratitude. Also transforms challenges into opportunities for growth. Life is not without its struggles, and it is easy to fall into despair when faced with difficulties. Yet even in the midst of adversity, there is something to be grateful for. Challenges teach resilience, reveal inner strength, and often lead to unexpected blessings. When you approach hardship with gratitude, you shift your perspective from one of victimhood to one of empowerment. You begin to see that every experience, no matter how painful, carries a lesson or a gift. This practice of gratitude also nurtures inner peace. The constant striving for more success, more possessions, more recognition creates a sense of restlessness and inadequacy. Gratitude quiets this yearning, replacing it with contentment. It reminds you that you are enough, that your life is enough as it is in this moment. This does not mean you stop aspiring or growing. Rather, it means you approach your desires from a place of abundance rather than lack. It is a bridge to connection, deepening your relationships with others. When you express genuine gratitude to the people in your life, you strengthen your bonds and foster mutual appreciation. Gratitude allows you to see the good in others, focusing on their positive qualities rather than their flaws. It opens your heart, making you more compassionate and understanding. This simple act of acknowledging the contributions of others enriches both your life and theirs, creating a ripple effect of positivity. A daily gratitude practice can be transformative. Begin and end your day by reflecting on what you are grateful for. This need not be a grand or time-consuming ritual. Even a few moments of sincere reflection can shift your energy. Write down 3 things you appreciate about your day, or silently express gratitude for the blessings in your life. Over time, this practice rewires your brain, training it to seek out the good in every situation. What you focus on expands, and gratitude ensures that your focus remains on abundance. Gratitude is also a powerful force in manifestation. When you express gratitude for your desires as though they are already fulfilled, you align yourself with the energy of receiving. This practice strengthens your belief in the reality of your vision and signals to the universe your readiness to embrace it. Gratitude bridges the gap between the present and the future, allowing you to act as though your desires are already yours. This attitude of gratitude accelerates the process of manifestation, drawing your dreams into your reality. It is important to note that gratitude is not about denying pain or pretending that everything is perfect. Life is a balance of joys and sorrows, and both have their place. Gratitude does not ask you to ignore the difficulties you face, but to look for the light within them. It is a recognition that even in darkness, there is something to be thankful for, a lesson, a moment of clarity, or the strength to persevere. Gratitude is not a denial of reality, but a deeper engagement with it. As you cultivate gratitude for the present, you begin to notice how rich your life already is. The practice shifts your energy, bringing you into alignment with joy, abundance, and peace. It opens your eyes to the countless blessings that surround you, reminding you that you are always supported, always provided for. Gratitude transforms your perspective, your energy, and ultimately your life. It is not just an emotion, but a way of being, a sacred acknowledgement of the beauty of the present moment. In embracing gratitude, we uncover the profound truth that life's beauty and abundance are always within our reach, no matter our circumstances. By shifting our focus from lack to fulfillment, from yearning to appreciation, we transform not only our outlook but our entire experience of reality. Gratitude anchors us in the present, the only moment where life truly unfolds, and it empowers us to see challenges as opportunities, relationships as blessings, and the ordinary as extraordinary. Let us choose to live each day with hearts open to gratitude, for it is through this practice that we align ourselves with peace, joy, and abundance. Gratitude is the lens through which we see the perfection of our lives, not in their absence of struggle, but in the presence of infinite possibilities. By making gratitude a way of life, we enrich ourselves, uplift those around us, and invite a future filled with even greater blessings. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of gratitude. May your journey forward be filled with appreciation, peace, and the fulfillment of all your desires. Do you know the truth of who you are? You are not here by chance, nor are you subject to the whims of fate. Your life is a divine orchestration, and the plans for you were written long before you ever drew breath. The Creator has set a blueprint for your life, a purpose that is immovable, unshakable, and destined to prevail. Your life is not a series of random events, nor are you adrift in a sea of chance. It is, instead, the result of a divine design, a blueprint laid out by the Creator with meticulous care and purpose. This blueprint is not just an outline of your life, but an intricate plan woven with intention, love, and infinite wisdom. Every aspect of your existence, from the challenges you face to the desires of your heart, is part of this grand design. Consider for a moment the idea that before you took your first breath, your life was already mapped out. The dreams you hold, the talents you possess, and even the struggles you endure are not incidental. They are threads in the fabric of your destiny, placed there to guide you toward the fulfillment of a purpose far greater than you may currently understand. There is a reason you feel drawn to certain paths, why particular ideas ignite your passion, and why some challenges seem tailor-made for you. These are not coincidences, they are markers on the map of your divine journey. Many of us struggle with the idea of destiny, believing it to be something imposed upon us without our consent. Yet the truth is far more empowering. Your divine blueprint was not created to limit you, but to liberate you. It was designed to align with the deepest desires of your heart. Life's challenges, those desires, the beauty of the divine blueprint is that nudging you toward your highest potential. No external force, the longings we feel are not merely mistakes, and we are moving further away from the life we were meant. God's plan is perfect, reminding you takes into account part of the divine plan. Every misstep, challenges are not evidence of failure; they are opportunities. Even when you feel lost, you are still on the path, preparing us for the blessings that lie ahead, compensating for the choices you make. As the shaping of a diamond, pressure and time are necessary, you are always being a raw stone, whether you realize it or not. Of extraordinary value. Faith is the key to understanding and trusting this blueprint. Faith allows you to see beyond the surface of your experiences and recognize the hand of the divine at work. It reminds you that what appears to be chaos is often the precursor to clarity, and what seems like a delay is often divine timing in action. When you trust the plan, you align yourself with its flow, and life begins to unfold with a sense of ease and purpose that is unmistakable. This does not mean that you are a passive participant in your destiny. Far from it. Your role is vital, for the blueprint is not a rigid script, but a living design that requires your active engagement. Your thoughts, beliefs, and actions shape how the plan manifests in your life. When you align your inner world with the vision set out in the divine design, you unlock the power to bring it into reality. This is the partnership between you and the Creator. He provides the plan, and you provide the faith and effort to bring it to life. The world around you may try to convince you otherwise. It may suggest that your life is governed by luck, chance, or the will of others. But this is an illusion. The truth is that the Creator has already set your course, and nothing can alter it. The only thing that can delay your progress is your own resistance, your doubt, fear, or refusal to trust in the plan. Yet even these moments of hesitation are accounted for, and the plan remains intact, waiting for you to step back into alignment. Your life is a masterpiece in progress, and every moment contributes to its completion. Even when you cannot see the full picture, trust that the Creator is working on your behalf, crafting something beautiful and meaningful. The divine blueprint is not just a map of your life, it is a testament to the love and care with which you were created. Every detail, every twist and turn is a reminder that you are known, cherished, and guided. So, rest in the assurance that your life is not an accident. You are here for a reason, and every step you take is part of a journey that has been lovingly designed for you. Trust in the plan, embrace your role in its unfolding, and know that you are walking a path that leads to a destiny greater than you can imagine. There is a force in this universe that is greater than any human effort, stronger than any opposition, and unshaken by the circumstances of this world. This force is the will of the Creator, the divine intention that governs all things and shapes the destiny of each soul. It is immovable, unchanging, and resolute. No matter how the winds of life may blow, or how chaotic the world may seem, this divine will remain steadfast, guiding everything toward its ordained purpose. The immovable will of God is not a concept limited to grand, cosmic events. It is deeply personal and intimately connected to your life. Every detail of your existence is a part of this greater will. The challenges you face, the victories you celebrate, and even the detours you encounter are woven into the fabric of this divine plan. Nothing happens by chance, and nothing escapes the reach of God's purpose. What has been set in motion for you cannot be stopped, for the will of the Creator is absolute. When we speak of God's will being immovable, it is essential to understand that this does not mean it is inflexible or cold. On the contrary, it is rooted in infinite love and wisdom. It is immovable in the sense that it cannot be overpowered or thwarted. The Creator's plans for you are designed with precision, taking into account every choice you make, every obstacle you face, and every situation you encounter. Even when you feel as though you are drifting far from the life you were meant to live, the will of God gently but firmly redirects you back on course. Human resistance cannot alter divine intention. People may oppose you, circumstances may seem unfavorable, and even your own doubts may arise, yet none of these things can undo what has been set in motion by the Creator. What God has planned for you will come to pass, no matter how impossible it may seem. The will of God is not bound by human limitations. It transcends the laws of nature, the barriers of time, and the confines of physical reality. It is a force that moves mountains, parts seas, and transforms the seemingly impossible into reality. The immovable will of God often requires us to trust in ways that challenge our understanding. There will be times when life feels uncertain, or when it appears that nothing is going according to plan. In these moments, it is easy to question whether the Creator's will is still at work. Yet it is precisely in these moments that His will is often working most powerfully, behind the scenes, arranging the pieces of your life in ways you cannot yet perceive. What looks like a delay or a detour is often a necessary part of the journey, preparing you for the fulfillment of God's promises. This divine will is also a source of profound comfort. Knowing that God's plans for you are immovable allows you to let go of fear and anxiety. You do not have to worry about the outcome of your efforts or the actions of others, for the Creator has already secured your destiny. Even when things do not unfold as you expect, you can rest in the assurance that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The will of God is perfect, and it will not fail. The immovable will of God is also a reminder that no force of darkness can prevail against you. There may be opposition, but it cannot succeed in the face of divine intention. What God has spoken over your life cannot be undone. His promises are eternal, and His word does not return void. This is why you can stand firm, even in the face of adversity. You are backed by a power that is greater than anything in this world. The immovable will of God is a testament to His unwavering commitment to you. It is a reflection of His love, His wisdom, and His desire to see you fulfill the purpose for which you were created. When you trust in this will, you align yourself with a power that is unstoppable. You become unshakable, not because of your strength, but because you are anchored in the strength of the one who holds the universe in His hands. So, no matter what you face, remember this: God's will for your life is unchanging and immovable. Trust in it, align with it, and walk forward in faith, knowing that nothing and no one can stop what has already been ordained for you. I am the grand design of life. The Creator has not only set a divine plan in motion, but has also given you a significant role in its unfolding. You are not a passive observer of your destiny, but an active participant in the manifestation of what has been ordained for you. While the Creator's plan is perfect and immovable, it requires your conscious cooperation to bring it into tangible reality. This partnership is both a privilege and a responsibility, and understanding your role is essential for aligning with the fullness of what is meant for you. The Creator has placed within you a unique combination of desires, abilities, and visions. These are not random, they are sacred keys to unlocking your purpose. When you feel drawn to something, when a dream ignites your soul, it is not merely a product of your imagination. It is a divine whisper, a calling, and an invitation to participate in the manifestation of what has been designed specifically for you. Your desires are the Creator's way of guiding you toward the fulfillment of your destiny. But desire alone is not enough. Your role involves faith, a deep and unwavering belief in the reality of what you seek, even before it appears in the physical world. Faith is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, the intangible and the tangible. When you believe in the fulfillment of your desires with absolute certainty, you align your inner world with the divine blueprint. This alignment is the key to unlocking the flow of divine power in your life. Faith, however, must be accompanied by action. Action is not about striving or forcing things to happen. It is about taking inspired steps that align with your vision. These steps may be small or large, but they must be taken with confidence and trust. When you act as though your desires are already on their way, you create a space for them to manifest. This is not an act of pretending, but of knowing that the Creator has already set the wheels in motion, and that your role is to meet the unfolding process with readiness and anticipation. Another crucial aspect of your role is the cultivation of your inner world. Your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions are powerful tools in the manifestation process. The Creator works through you, and what you hold in your mind and heart determines the shape of your reality. When you focus on abundance, gratitude, and faith, you align with the frequency of the divine plan. But when you dwell in doubt, fear, or lack, you create resistance to what is meant for you. This resistance does not cancel the Creator's plan, but can delay its manifestation, as the divine waits patiently for your alignment. Patience is also an integral part of your role. Manifestation does not always happen on your timeline, and what may seem like a delay is often the Creator's way of preparing you for something greater. Trust in the timing of your life. Trust that every moment, even the ones that feel stagnant or challenging, is part of the process. The Creator is never late, and what is meant for you will not pass you by. Your job is to remain faithful and continue nurturing the vision, even when you cannot yet see its physical evidence. Your role also involves letting go of control. While action and faith are necessary, clinging to the outcome or trying to force things to happen can create tension and block the natural flow of the divine process. Letting go is not about giving up, it is about surrendering to a power greater than yourself. trusting that the Creator knows the best way to bring your desires to fruition. When you release the need to control every detail, you make room for miracles. Equally important is the practice of gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is already present, creating a vibration of abundance that attracts even more blessings. When you are grateful for what you have, you signal to the Creator that you are ready to receive more. Gratitude also strengthens your faith, reminding you of the countless ways in which the divine has already worked in your life. Your role in manifestation requires persistence. There will be moments of doubt, setbacks, and challenges, but these are not signs that you are on the wrong path. They are opportunities to reaffirm your faith and strengthen your resolve. Keep moving forward even when the road is unclear. Trust that every step, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to the fulfillment of the divine plan. In this grand partnership with the Creator, your role is not to make the plan but to align with it. Trust in the desires placed within you, cultivate unwavering faith, take inspired action, and surrender to the divine process. When you do this, you become a vessel through which the Creator's will flows effortlessly into the world. The manifestation of your destiny is not just a possibility, it is a certainty as long as you play your role with faith, trust, and gratitude. The challenges you face in life may seem insurmountable at times, appearing as barriers designed to thwart your progress. Yet, when you look beyond their surface, you come to realize they are not as solid or permanent as they appear. Challenges are illusions, shadows cast by your perception, shaped by your beliefs, and fueled by your fears. They exist not to block your path, but to guide you inward, to reveal the untapped power within, and to teach you that what you perceive as obstacles are, in truth, stepping stones toward your highest potential. This understanding does not diminish the difficulty of challenges, rather, it empowers you to see them for what they are: opportunities for growth, not punishments or evidence of failure. When you encounter a challenge, it is an invitation to shift your perspective, to rise above the illusion of limitation, and to reclaim your power. The Creator has placed within you everything you need to overcome any obstacle, and challenges are merely tools to awaken that inner strength. The illusion of challenges often gains its power through fear. Fear magnifies problems, making them seem larger and more threatening than they are. It clouds your judgment and convinces you that escape or defeat is your only option. But fear is also an illusion, a shadow that dissipates the moment you face it with courage and clarity. The moment you choose to see a challenge not as an enemy, but as a teacher, its power over you diminishes. You realize that the true battle is not with the challenge itself, but with the belief that it has the power to stop you. Consider the nature of illusions. They appear real until you look closely, question their substance, and see through them. Similarly, challenges often dissolve when met with unwavering faith and determination. So, the Creator's plan for you is not hindered by these temporary illusions. In fact, challenges are part of the divine design, strategically placed to help you develop the qualities necessary for the fulfillment of your purpose. They are not barriers but bridges, guiding you to a deeper understanding of yourself and your connection to the divine. When you confront a challenge, it is essential to remember that it is not separate from the larger plan for your life. It is not a mistake or a deviation from your path, it is the path. Every challenge carries within it a gift, a lesson, a strength, a revelation that is meant to prepare you for what lies ahead. The illusion is not in the existence of the challenge, but in the belief that it is there to harm or hinder you. In truth, it is there to elevate you. Challenges also serve to reveal the truth of who you are. They strip away the layers of doubt, fear, and insecurity, leaving you with a clearer understanding of your strength, resilience, and potential. What may initially feel like a loss or a setback is often the process of shedding old limitations to make room for new growth. The illusion of the challenge fades as you step into the realization that you are not a victim of circumstance, but a co-creator of your reality. In navigating challenges, your inner world becomes the most critical battlefield. The thoughts you entertain, the beliefs you hold, and the emotions you nurture all play a role in shaping your experience. When you choose to see challenges as illusions, you reclaim your power to reshape them. You are no longer bound by their apparent weight or size. Instead, you rise above them, using the tools of faith, imagination, and persistence to dissolve their hold over you. Challenges are not here to defeat you, they are here to awaken you. They remind you of your divine nature, your boundless potential, and the infinite wisdom of the Creator's plan. When you see them for what they truly are, temporary illusions meant to guide and grow you, you approach them with confidence, curiosity, and grace. You no longer resist them or fear them, but embrace them as opportunities to evolve into the person you were always meant to be. Within you lies a seed, already planted, already infused with divine intention, carrying the full potential of what you are meant to become. This seed is the essence of your desires, your dreams, and your purpose. It was placed within you by the Creator before you even became aware of it, and it contains everything necessary for its growth and fulfillment. Yet, like any seed, its unfolding depends on your belief, your attention, and your willingness to nurture it. The seed does not require your effort to create it. It is already there. It does not need you to force its growth, for growth is its inherent nature. What it needs is the right environment, the conditions that allow it to flourish. This is your role, to create the mental and emotional atmosphere in which the seed can thrive. Faith is the sunlight that nourishes it, your imagination is the fertile soil that surrounds it, and your actions are the water that sustains its progress. Without these elements, the seed may remain dormant, not because it lacks potential, but because it awaits your participation. The beauty of this seed is that it carries within it the full blueprint of your destiny. Just as an oak tree is already contained within the acorn, your greatest achievements and highest purpose are already present within you. There is nothing you need to add to it, no external force that can make it more complete. It is perfect in its design, and its growth is assured when you align yourself with the natural process of manifestation. Doubt is the greatest threat to the seed's growth. When you allow fear or uncertainty to dominate your thoughts, you withhold the sunlight and nourishment it needs. Doubt tells you that the seed may not exist, that your desires are too big, too impossible, or too far away. But the truth is that the seed was planted with divine certainty. Its existence is not in question. The only question is whether you will choose to believe in its presence and act accordingly. Faith is not blind, it is a profound knowing that the seed will grow, even when you cannot yet see its form. When you plant a seed in the ground, you do not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. You trust the process, knowing that beneath the surface, life is stirring, roots are spreading, and the first shoots will appear in their perfect time. In the same way, you must trust the seed within you. Its growth may not always be visible, but it is constant and inevitable. Your imagination plays a crucial role in this process. It is the soil in which the seed is planted, and its richness determines the quality of the growth. When you imagine your desires as already fulfilled, you create an environment where the seed can flourish. Every thought of abundance, joy, and success adds nutrients to the soil, while thoughts of lack and limitation deplete it. Guard your imagination carefully, for it is the medium through which the seed receives its nourishment. Action is another vital component. While the seed grows in its own time, your inspired actions provide the water that sustains it. These actions need not be grand or perfect, they only need to be aligned with your belief in the seed's existence. Each step you take, no matter how small, signals your faith in the process and your readiness to receive the fruit of your efforts. Even in moments of doubt, taking action reaffirms your commitment and keeps the energy flowing toward growth. Patience is essential, for the seed does not grow on your timetable but on the Creator's. What may seem like a delay is often a period of preparation, a time when the roots are growing deeper to support the greatness that will emerge. Trust that the process is unfolding exactly as it should, even when you cannot yet see the evidence. The seed's growth is inevitable, as long as you remain faithful and consistent in your nurturing. The seed is also resilient. It does not lose its potential because of temporary neglect or adverse conditions. Even when you falter, when doubt clouds your mind or fear takes hold, the seed remains. It waits patiently for you to return, to resume your role as its caretaker. This is the grace of the Creator's design. No matter how many times you stumble, the seed is still there, ready to grow the moment you align yourself with its purpose. The seed is a reminder of the divine partnership in your life. The Creator plants the seed, but it is through your belief, imagination, and action that it comes to fruition. The seed's existence is a promise, a guarantee that everything you desire, everything you are meant to be, is already within you. You do not need to strive to create it, you only need to trust the process and nurture its growth. When you align yourself with this truth, the seed will grow effortlessly, and its fruit will manifest as the fulfillment of your greatest dreams. Time is one of the most profound tools of the Creator, a silent force that shapes, reveals, and refines. It is not your enemy, though it may sometimes feel like it. Instead, it is the mechanism through which the divine plan unfolds in perfect sequence. Every second, every moment, every delay, and every acceleration serves a purpose that aligns with the grand design for your life. When you understand time as a tool of God, you begin to see it not as something to fight against or escape from, but as an essential part of the journey. Human impatience often causes us to misinterpret time. We want results now, manifestations immediately, and changes without delay. But the Creator does not operate on the calendar of human desires. Time serves as the weaver of events, ensuring that everything comes together in harmony. It is not random or wasted. Every moment is purposeful, preparing the ground for what is to come. Even when you cannot see its work, time is shaping you, building the foundation, and aligning circumstances so that what is meant for you arrives exactly when it should. In the rush to achieve or receive, it is easy to overlook the value of waiting. Yet, waiting is not a passive state, it is an active period of preparation. When a farmer plants a seed, they do not demand that it sprout instantly. They trust in the natural process, understanding that growth requires time. Similarly, the Creator uses time to cultivate your character, strengthen your faith, and align your desires with your readiness to receive them. What feels like a delay is often a period of unseen progress, where the roots of your destiny are taking hold beneath the surface. Time also serves as a mirror, reflecting back to you the state of your inner world. If you approach it with anxiety or impatience, it feels heavy and burdensome. If you embrace it with trust and faith, it becomes a gift, revealing its treasures in every moment. The Creator uses time to teach you patience, to show you that the process is as important as the outcome. In the waiting, you learn to let go of control, to surrender your timeline to the divine timing that is always perfect. Faith is the bridge that allows you to navigate time with grace. When you trust that the Creator's plan is already in motion, you stop resisting the flow of time and start aligning with it. You understand that what you desire is not being withheld, but is being prepared. The journey through time is not a test of endurance, but a process of unfolding. Each moment brings you closer to the realization of your dreams, as long as you remain steadfast in your belief and committed to your role in the manifestation. Time also reveals what is truly important. It strips away distractions, clarifies priorities, and shows you what is worth waiting for. In moments of frustration or doubt, time teaches you to discern between fleeting desires and the deep, lasting fulfillment that only the Creator can provide. It aligns you with the rhythm of life, reminding you that the most meaningful things often require patience and perseverance. Even when time seems to move slowly, it is never stagnant. Like a river, it flows continuously, carrying you toward your destination. The Creator uses time to orchestrate events, align people and circumstances, and prepare you for what lies ahead. What appears to be a delay is often a necessary pause, ensuring that you are ready to step into your purpose when the moment arrives. The key is to trust the process, to know that time is not working against you but for you. The challenges you face along the way are also part of time's purpose. They are not obstacles to your progress but tools of refinement. Time allows you to grow through these challenges, to develop the strength, wisdom, and resilience needed to fulfill your destiny. Without the passage of time, you would not have the space to evolve, to learn, or to become the person you are meant to be. The Creator uses time to shape you, like a sculptor shaping a masterpiece, ensuring that every detail is perfect. There is great peace in surrendering to the truth that time is God's tool. When you release the need to control or rush the process, you open yourself to the flow of divine timing. You begin to see every moment as valuable, every delay as purposeful, and every challenge as an opportunity for growth. You stop striving and start trusting, knowing that the Creator's plan is unfolding exactly as it should. Time is not your adversary, it is your ally. It is the medium through which the Creator brings your dreams into reality. Trust in its purpose, embrace its lessons, and align yourself with its flow. In doing so, you will come to understand that everything you desire is already on its way, and that the journey through time is as much a part of the blessing as the destination itself. Within every individual lies a quiet yet powerful force, inner conviction. This is the deep, unshakable knowing that transcends logic, circumstances, and the opinions of others. It is the compass given to you by the Creator, pointing you toward your true path, guiding your every step, and reassuring you even in the face of doubt and difficulty. Inner conviction is the voice of your higher self, the essence of divine wisdom within you. It whispers truth that the outer world often drowns out with its clamor. To live in alignment with this inner conviction is to trust in the unseen, to choose faith over fear, and to prioritize your authentic desires over the fleeting opinions of the world. The outer world is noisy, filled with voices that attempt to tell you who you are, what you should want, and how you should live. These voices come in many forms: social expectations, cultural norms, the judgments of others, and even your own conditioned fears. If you allow these external influences to guide your decisions, you risk losing sight of your true self and the unique path that has been laid out for you. Outer noise is often rooted in limitation, fear, and the belief in scarcity. It distracts you from your innate power and the divine connection that assures you of your ability to create and manifest. Inner conviction, however, is not swayed by these external influences. It remains steady and unchanging, grounded in the truth of who you are and the vision of what you are meant to become. When you tune into this conviction, you realize that the answers you seek are already within you. The Creator has placed within you all the guidance you need, encoded into your desires and your intuitive sense of what is right for you. This inner knowing is your compass, and it always points you toward your highest good. Listening to your inner conviction requires courage. It asks you to turn away from the crowd, to ignore the voices of doubt, and to trust in something that cannot always be seen or explained. The outer world may try to convince you that your dreams are too big, your path too unconventional, or your vision too unrealistic. But inner conviction knows better. It knows that the Creator does not place desires in your heart without also providing the means to fulfill them. When you trust in your inner conviction, you align yourself with this divine promise. Outer noise thrives on comparison. It urges you to measure your worth against others, to chase after what society deems valuable, and to conform to expectations that may not align with your true self. But inner conviction reminds you that your journey is uniquely yours. You are not here to replicate someone else's path or to meet external standards. You are here to live authentically, to honor your individual calling, and to express the fullness of who you are. The more you tune into your inner conviction, the less power outer noise has over you. Inner conviction also brings clarity. When you are grounded in this inner knowing, you can navigate life's challenges with confidence and peace. You are no longer swayed by temporary setbacks or the shifting opinions of others. You recognize that these are merely distractions, not determinants of your destiny. Your inner conviction allows you to see beyond the surface, to trust in the bigger picture, and to stay focused on what truly matters. It is the anchor that keeps you steady in the storm. The process of strengthening your inner conviction begins with stillness. In the quiet, away from the noise of the world, you can hear the voice of your higher self. Through practices like meditation, prayer, or reflective journaling, you reconnect with this inner source of wisdom. As you cultivate this connection, you become more attuned to your intuition and more confident in your ability to discern your path. You learn to trust your inner voice over the external noise, and this trust becomes the foundation of your strength. Action is also a key component of living by inner conviction. It is not enough to hear the call of your inner voice, you must also act on it. Each time you make a decision that aligns with your inner conviction, you strengthen your connection to it. You prove to yourself that you are capable of trusting in your own wisdom, and this trust grows over time. Even small steps taken in alignment with your inner conviction have the power to transform your life and move you closer to your dreams. Inner conviction is a reflection of your relationship with the Creator. It is the channel through which divine guidance flows, the means by which you align yourself with your highest good. When you prioritize your inner conviction over outer noise, you honor this sacred connection. You affirm your faith in the Creator's plan for your life, and you step into the fullness of your power as a co-creator of your reality. Living by inner conviction is not always easy, but it is always worth it. It requires faith, courage, and a willingness to trust in the unseen. Yet, when you do, you discover a sense of peace and purpose that outer noise can never provide. You realize that you are not defined by the opinions of others or the limitations of the world, but by the divine potential within you. And in this realization, you find the freedom to be truly, unapologetically yourself. Victory is assured. This is not a statement of mere hope or optimism, it is truth rooted in the divine order of the universe. The Creator does not work in uncertainty, and neither should you. When a purpose is planted within your heart, the outcome is already determined. The path to fulfillment may twist and turn, and challenges may arise, but the end is inevitable triumph. The seeds of your success were sown the moment the vision took root in your mind, for the Creator does not plant ideas without the means to bring them to fruition. To grasp this truth, you must first understand that victory is not something you earn through relentless striving, it is something you align with through faith and action. The outcome exists before you begin. Imagine a sculptor who sees the masterpiece within the block of stone before they lift a chisel. The work of removing the excess is necessary, but the vision is already complete in the sculptor's mind. Similarly, your success is already established in the mind of the Creator. Your role is not to create the victory, but to reveal it through trust, perseverance, and alignment with the divine will. Many struggle to accept that their victory is assured because they measure progress by external signs. They look to the world for validation, expecting immediate results to confirm their efforts. But true victory begins within. It starts with an unshakable belief in the inevitability of your success, regardless of what your current circumstances may suggest. This is the essence of faith: to see the unseen, to claim the outcome before it materializes, and to act as though the victory is already yours. Faith transforms challenges into stepping stones, not barriers, and keeps you moving forward even when the path is unclear. The road to assured victory often involves trials that test your commitment and resilience. These trials are not signs of failure but essential parts of the journey. They serve to refine you, to strengthen your character, and to prepare you for the responsibilities that come with success. The Creator uses challenges to shape you into the person you need to become, to fully embrace the victory that awaits you. Each setback is a lesson, each delay a moment of preparation. When you view obstacles through this lens, they lose their power to discourage you. Instead, they become evidence that the process is working, that you are being equipped for the greatness that lies ahead. Doubt is the greatest enemy of assured victory. It creeps in when results are delayed, when challenges arise, or when the voices of others question your path. But doubt is nothing more than a shadow, a temporary illusion that cannot withstand the light of your faith. To overcome doubt, you must remain anchored in the truth of your assured victory. Speak it aloud, affirm it daily, and remind yourself of the vision that was placed within you. The Creator does not abandon what He begins. If the desire exists within you, so too does the power to achieve it. Victory is also a state of being, not just an end result. When you live with the knowledge that your success is inevitable, you begin to carry yourself differently. Your actions are bold, your words confident, and your energy magnetic. You stop chasing success and start attracting it. This shift in perspective allows you to enjoy the journey, knowing that the destination is certain. You find joy in the process, peace in the waiting, and strength in the face of challenges. You are no longer swayed by temporary setbacks or external opinions because your inner conviction is rooted in a higher truth. It is important to remember that assured victory does not mean the absence of effort. Faith without action is incomplete. Your role is to align your thoughts, words, and deeds with the victory you seek. This alignment creates a powerful synergy with the divine forces at work, accelerating the manifestation of your success. When you act as though the victory is already yours, you open the doors for it to manifest in ways you cannot predict or control. The Creator works through your efforts, using them to bring the unseen into reality. Assured victory also requires gratitude. Gratitude is a declaration of trust in the process, a recognition that the outcome is already unfolding in your favor. When you give thanks for the victory before it arrives, you affirm your belief in its inevitability. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is possible, and this shift creates an environment where success can flourish. The Creator responds to gratitude by multiplying blessings, turning even the smallest victories into stepping stones for greater achievements. Your victory is assured because it is not dependent on the changing tides of the world, but on the unchanging nature of the Creator. What has been decreed cannot be undone, and what has been promised will come to pass. Your role is to trust, to act, and to align yourself with this divine truth. When you do, you will find that victory is not something you must chase, it is something you simply step into. It is waiting for you, as certain as the sunrise, ready to be claimed. All you need to do is believe. In the grand design of life, every vision, every desire, and every purpose placed within your heart is a promise from the Creator. It is not a mere possibility, but a certainty waiting for you to align with it through faith, action, and unwavering trust. Challenges are but illusions, time is a tool, and the journey is as divine as the destination. Your role is not to strive in doubt, but to rest in the assurance that the victory is already yours, carved into the fabric of the universe. The truth of your inner conviction, the quiet voice of faith within you, is your compass. Let it guide you, let it embolden you, and let it remind you that no noise of the outer world can disrupt what the Creator has ordained. Trust in the divine timing, in the perfection of the process, and in the certainty of your triumph. As you walk this path, remember that every step is taking you closer to the fulfillment of your purpose. Thank you for embracing these truths and for taking the time to connect with the divine wisdom within you. May your journey be filled with clarity, strength, and the unwavering certainty of your assured victory. My friends, I urge you to consider this carefully. Not every plea for help is a call to action. There are those whose cries echo not from true need, but from an unwillingness to claim their inner strength. To extend your hand without discernment is to entangle yourself in their cycle of lack and misalignment. Life is a grand mirror, reflecting back to us not the world as it is, but as we are within. The circumstances, relationships, and experiences that fill our days are merely projections of the state of our consciousness. To truly understand this principle is to unlock the key to transformation, for nothing in your outer world can shift until you first shift within. It is not the actions of others or the randomness of life that shape our experiences, but the assumptions we hold, the beliefs we nurture, and the emotions we entertain. When you encounter someone in need, it is natural to feel the urge to help. Compassion is a noble quality, but it must be tempered with understanding. Not all help is helpful. There are times when assisting another can inadvertently reinforce their limitations rather than liberate them. This is because their struggles are a reflection of their inner state, just as your experiences reflect yours. To intervene without discernment is to become entangled in their reflection, seeing only their lack and not their potential, and in doing so, you risk affirming the very reality they wish to escape. Consider this: if someone views themselves as powerless, they will project a reality that mirrors this belief. They will encounter situations and relationships that reinforce their sense of helplessness. If you step in to solve their problems without addressing the root cause, their own perception, you are merely treating the symptoms of a deeper issue. You may alleviate their immediate discomfort, but you leave their underlying belief intact. Worse still, you may unintentionally validate it, making it harder for them to break free. True assistance begins with awareness. It is not about fixing someone's life for them, but about helping them see the power they already possess. This requires you to rise above the immediate reflection and see beyond the surface. It requires a deeper understanding of how consciousness shapes reality. By maintaining your own alignment with abundance, strength, and clarity, you serve as a mirror of possibility rather than limitation. In your presence, they can begin to perceive a new reflection, one that calls them to rise, not to remain as they are. This is why discernment is crucial. You must ask yourself, am I helping from a place of genuine empowerment, or am I responding to their reflection of lack? To answer this question honestly, you must first examine your own state of consciousness. Are you seeing them as a soul capable of transformation, or as someone who needs rescuing? The way you perceive them will dictate the kind of help you offer and the impact it has. It is also essential to recognize that each person is on their own journey. The struggles they face are not punishments but opportunities for growth. Just as you have learned through challenges and risen through trials, so too must they. To take away their struggle prematurely is to rob them of the lessons their soul has called forth. It is like pulling a butterfly from its cocoon. Before it is ready, the wings remain undeveloped, and the creature cannot fly. There is a delicate balance to be struck here. Compassion does not mean enabling. Love does not mean interfering. Sometimes the greatest gift you can give another is the space to discover their own strength. This does not mean turning a blind eye to suffering or becoming indifferent to the needs of others. It means offering a higher form of help, one that empowers rather than weakens. It means seeing them not as broken, but as whole, even if they cannot yet see it for themselves. The reflection principle teaches us that we are always teaching others by the state of our being. If you wish to inspire someone to rise above their circumstances, you must first rise above your own. You must embody the qualities you wish to see in them: confidence, peace, abundance, so that your reflection serves as a reminder of what is possible. When you do this, you are not imposing your will upon them, but inviting them to step into a higher version of themselves. At times, this may mean withholding direct help, even when asked. This is not an act of cruelty, but of wisdom. It is an acknowledgement that their journey is sacred, and that their struggles are the very soil in which their strength will grow. Trust that the same divine intelligence that guides you also guides them. Trust that they too have access to the infinite power within, and that they will discover it in their own time and way. Life does not happen to us, it happens through us. Every interaction, every encounter, every challenge is a reflection of the state of our inner world. By understanding this, we free ourselves from the illusion of victimhood and step into the role of the creator. And as creators, we have a responsibility not to fix the reflections of others, but to perfect our own. When you align with truth, love, and abundance, you naturally inspire others to do the same. Your very presence becomes a catalyst for change, not because you force it upon them, but because you show them what is possible. So remember the power of the mirror. When you see lack in another, look first within yourself. When you feel the urge to help, ask whether your help will empower or enable. And when in doubt, hold the vision of their highest potential, trusting that they will rise to meet it. This is the true meaning of assistance, not to change their reflection for them, but to show them that they hold the power to change it themselves. The law of assumption is the foundation upon which reality is built. It declares that whatever you assume to be true, whether consciously or unconsciously, will manifest in your life. It is not the effort you expend or the actions you take that shape your world, but the assumptions you hold deeply within your mind. These assumptions, like seeds planted in fertile soil, grow into the experiences that make up your life. To understand and harness this law is to unlock the power to create your reality deliberately. So, every thought, every belief, every feeling you entertain is an assumption about the nature of life, yourself, and the world around you. If you believe that life is a struggle, that belief will be reflected in your experiences. You will encounter obstacles and hardships, not because life is inherently difficult, but because your assumption demands it. Conversely, if you assume that life is abundant and full of opportunities, you will find evidence of this truth in every corner of your existence. The outer world is nothing more than a mirror reflecting the assumptions you hold within. This is why so many efforts to change our circumstances fail. We focus on the outer effects without addressing the inner cause. We may try to improve our finances by working harder or seeking new opportunities, but if we carry within us the assumption of lack, our efforts will yield little fruit. The outer world cannot change until the inner world does. Action without a change in assumption is like planting seeds in barren soil. It is the assumption, the inner conviction, that determines whether the soil is fertile and whether the seed will grow. To apply the law of assumption, you must first become aware of the assumptions you currently hold. This requires honesty and self-reflection. Ask yourself, what do I believe about myself? What do I believe about others? What do I believe about the nature of reality? These beliefs are the assumptions that shape your life. Often they operate beneath the surface of our awareness, yet their influence is profound. They dictate your thoughts, emotions, and actions, and they call forth experiences that confirm their truth. Once you have identified these assumptions, the next step is to replace those that do not serve you with ones that align with the life you desire. This is not a passive process, but an act of deliberate creation. You must consciously choose to assume the reality you wish to experience, even if the evidence around you suggests otherwise. This requires faith and imagination. Faith, because you must trust in the unseen reality of your assumption. Imagination, because it is through the act of imagining that you begin to feel the truth of your new assumption. Feeling is the secret to making an assumption a reality. It is not enough to simply think about the life you desire. You must feel as though you are already living it. This is because the subconscious mind, which is the creative power behind all manifestation, responds to feelings, not thoughts. When you feel the reality of your assumption, your subconscious accepts it as true and sets about bringing it into your experience. Many struggle with this concept because they are conditioned to believe in the evidence of their senses. They see lack and assume lack. They experience struggle and assume struggle. But the law of assumption teaches us to reverse this process. Do not let your senses dictate your assumptions. Let your assumptions dictate what your senses perceive. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, regardless of outer appearances, and trust that your assumption will harden into fact. This is not a process of force or effort. You do not need to struggle to make your assumption real. The law of assumption operates naturally and effortlessly, just as a seed grows into a plant without strain or toil. Your only task is to nurture your assumption through faith and feeling. Remain steadfast in your belief, and let the creative power of the subconscious do the rest. It is important to remember that the law of assumption works both positively and negatively. If you assume failure, failure will manifest. If you assume rejection, rejection will follow. This is why self-awareness is so vital. You must guard your assumptions and choose them wisely, for they are the architects of your reality. Do not dwell on fear, doubt, or limitation, for these too are assumptions that will shape your world. When you encounter challenges or delays, do not waver in your assumption. The outer world may test your faith, but this is only the reflection of your past assumptions lingering in your reality. Hold fast to your new assumption and trust that it will prevail. The law of assumption is absolute. It cannot fail. It will manifest what you assume to be true, without exception. As you practice this law, you will find that life becomes a dance of creation. No longer will you feel like a victim of circumstance, tossed about by forces beyond your control. You will understand that you are the creator of your reality, and you will take full responsibility for your assumptions. This is the ultimate freedom, for it places the power to shape your life firmly in your hands. Let this truth sink deeply into your being. You are not at the mercy of life. Life is at the mercy of you. Assume the best, and the best will be yours. Assume abundance, and abundance will flow to you. Assume love, and love will surround you. Whatever you desire, assume it boldly and persistently, and it will be yours. The law of assumption is simple but profound, and its power is limitless. Use it wisely, and you will transform your world. Energy is the most valuable currency you possess. Unlike money, which can be earned, saved, or spent, your energy is finite in its daily supply and irreplaceable once depleted. It is the essence of your being, the force that drives your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Every interaction, every choice, every moment of focus is an expenditure of this precious resource. Yet many give it away carelessly, pouring it into people, situations, or habits that drain rather than replenish it. To truly live a life of purpose and abundance, you must treat your energy with the same care and discernment as the most sacred currency. One of the most profound ways to conserve and amplify your energy is by aligning your thoughts and emotions with your desired reality. Negative emotions such as fear, anger, and resentment consume vast amounts of energy, leaving you drained and powerless. Positive emotions such as love, gratitude, and joy, on the other hand, generate energy and elevate your state of being. By focusing your attention on what uplifts you and releasing what weighs you down, you create an inner environment of abundance that naturally attracts more of the same. It is also important to recognize the role of intention in energy transactions. When you give or act with a clear and positive intention, your energy flows purposefully, creating a ripple effect that benefits both you and others. However, when your actions are driven by guilt, obligation, or a desire for approval, your energy becomes fragmented and less effective. Aligning your intentions with your higher self ensures that your energy is used in ways that support your growth and well-being. The concept of energy as currency extends beyond the individual to the collective. Just as your personal energy shapes your experiences, the collective energy of a group shapes its dynamics and outcomes. When you contribute your energy to a cause, a community, or a vision, you become part of a larger flow that has the potential to create profound change. However, just as in personal transactions, it is crucial to ensure that your contribution is aligned with your values and that it supports a greater purpose rather than perpetuating negativity or division. Your energy is your most precious resource because it is the foundation of your existence. Without it, nothing can be achieved or experienced. To value your energy is to value yourself. It is to recognize that you are the source of your own power, and that how you direct your energy determines the quality of your life. By treating your energy as sacred currency, you take responsibility for your well-being and create a life that reflects your highest potential. Be mindful of where you invest your energy and do so with intention and wisdom. Protect it from what drains you, nurture it through what inspires you, and use it to create a reality that resonates with your deepest truth. When you honor your energy, you honor the divine essence within you, and you unlock the limitless possibilities of a life lived in alignment with your highest self. Discernment is one of the most vital skills a person can develop. It is the ability to see beyond surface appearances, to recognize truth amid falsehood, and to make choices aligned with your values and purpose. In a world filled with distractions, misinformation, and competing voices, discernment is your guide, enabling you to navigate life with clarity and confidence. Without it, you risk being swayed by others' agendas, wasting your energy on pursuits that do not serve you, and making decisions that lead you away from your true path. At its core, discernment begins with awareness. It requires you to be fully present, not just physically but mentally and emotionally, so you can observe and assess situations objectively. When you rush through life without pausing to reflect, you often act on impulse or habit rather than deliberate choice. Discernment demands that you slow down and ask the critical questions: what is truly being presented to me? What is the intention behind this? How does this align with my values, goals, and intuition? These questions create a filter through which you can sift what is useful, meaningful, and genuine from what is not. It is not about judging others or situations harshly, but about making empowered decisions that respect your time, energy, and purpose. It allows you to distinguish between opportunities that will enrich your life and distractions that will derail you. Many opportunities may seem appealing on the surface, but carry hidden costs that only discernment can reveal. Whether it's a new relationship, a career move, or even how you spend your free time, discernment helps you evaluate the true value of what is being offered and whether it aligns with your long-term vision. One of the greatest challenges to discernment is the influence of emotions and biases. Fear, excitement, or a desire for approval can cloud your judgment, making it difficult to see a situation for what it truly is. Discernment requires emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize and manage your emotions so they do not overpower your reasoning. When you are emotionally reactive, you are more likely to make decisions based on immediate gratification or avoidance of discomfort rather than on thoughtful consideration. Cultivating discernment means learning to pause, step back, and observe your emotions without letting them dictate your actions. Another aspect of discernment is the ability to recognize the motivations of others. Not everyone who offers advice or guidance has your best interests at heart. Some may act out of self-interest, manipulation, or ignorance. Discernment allows you to see through the words and actions of others to understand their true intentions. This does not mean approaching life with cynicism or mistrust, but with a healthy sense of awareness. By understanding the motives behind what others say or do, you can make choices that protect your boundaries and align with your values. Discernment also plays a crucial role in how you consume information. In an age where information is abundant but often unreliable, the ability to evaluate sources critically is more important than ever. Discernment helps you separate fact from opinion, truth from propaganda, and wisdom from noise. It encourages you to seek knowledge from reputable and diverse sources, question what you hear, and think independently. This not only protects you from being misled, but also empowers you to form your own informed perspectives. It requires effort and practice. It is not an innate ability, but a skill that develops over time through experience and intentionality. Mistakes are an inevitable part of the learning process, but each misstep offers an opportunity to refine your judgment and grow wiser. The key is to approach life with curiosity and openness, while remaining grounded in your values and intuition. Trust that discernment, like any skill, will strengthen with consistent use. One of the most rewarding aspects of discernment is the sense of empowerment it brings. When you make decisions from a place of clarity and alignment, you feel confident and at peace with your choices. You are no longer swayed by external pressures or paralyzed by indecision. Instead, you move through life with a sense of purpose, knowing that your actions are guided by wisdom and integrity. Discernment also fosters deeper connections with others. When you approach relationships with clarity and awareness, you can see and appreciate people for who they truly are. You recognize the relationships that nurture and inspire you, and you have the strength to release those that drain or hinder you. Discernment allows you to build authentic connections based on mutual respect and understanding. Discernment is a cornerstone of personal growth and self-mastery. It is the compass that keeps you aligned with your true self amid the noise and chaos of the world. By cultivating discernment, you take ownership of your life, make choices that honor your values, and create a reality that reflects your highest potential. It is not always easy, but it is always worth the effort. The more you practice discernment, the more you realize its transformative power, and the more your life becomes a reflection of your deepest wisdom and truth. Inner responsibility is the recognition that your life, in all its aspects, is a direct reflection of your internal state. It is the understanding that your thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and actions are the architects of your reality. Instead of placing blame on external circumstances or other people for what happens to you, inner responsibility invites you to look within, take ownership of your experiences, and embrace the power you hold to transform your life from the inside out. Taking inner responsibility means accepting that you are the creator of your experiences. This does not imply that you have control over everything that happens, but it does mean that your interpretation of events, your emotional responses, and your subsequent actions are entirely within your power. Life may present challenges, setbacks, and even pain. but how you choose to perceive and navigate these moments determines their impact on your journey. Inner responsibility shifts your focus from being a victim of circumstances to being an empowered participant in your own story. This form of responsibility begins with awareness. You must first become conscious of the patterns in your life, patterns of thought, emotion, and behavior that perpetuate your current circumstances. Many people live on autopilot, reacting to life based on ingrained habits and beliefs without questioning their validity. Inner responsibility requires you to pause and examine these patterns with honesty and self-compassion. Are your thoughts rooted in fear or faith? Do your actions reflect your highest values or societal conditioning? By becoming aware of these dynamics, you reclaim the ability to choose differently. An essential aspect of inner responsibility is the acknowledgement of your emotions. It is easy to blame others or external events for how you feel, but the truth is that your emotions are generated within you. While external triggers may provoke a response, the interpretation and meaning you assign to those triggers are what determine your emotional state. Taking inner responsibility involves owning your feelings without projecting them onto others. It means recognizing that no one else can make you feel a certain way unless you allow it. This ownership creates the freedom to process emotions constructively, learn from them, and ultimately transform them into growth and resilience. Inner responsibility also extends to your actions. Every choice you make is a reflection of your inner state and priorities. When you take responsibility for your actions, you stop blaming external factors for your behavior. For instance, if you consistently procrastinate or avoid challenges, it is not because of the circumstances around you, but because of an internal resistance or fear. Acknowledging this empowers you to address the root cause rather than merely addressing the symptom. Through this process, you build integrity and align your actions with your goals and values. Taking inner responsibility is not about self-blame or guilt. It is not about berating yourself for past mistakes or perceived shortcomings. Instead, it is a practice of self-empowerment and self-awareness. Blame focuses on the problem, responsibility focuses on the solution. By shifting from blame to responsibility, you free yourself from the paralysis of guilt and step into the creative power of choice. Each moment becomes an opportunity to redirect your energy, make new decisions, and create a different outcome. The ultimate gift of inner responsibility is freedom. When you take ownership of your inner world, you are no longer at the mercy of external circumstances. You become the master of your own destiny, capable of creating a life that reflects your deepest desires and highest values. This freedom is not about controlling everything around you, but about mastering your internal state so that you can respond to life with wisdom, grace, and confidence. In embracing inner responsibility, you step into your power as a creator. You recognize that your thoughts shape your reality, your emotions color your experiences, and your actions determine your path. By taking ownership of these elements, you reclaim your sovereignty and unlock the limitless potential within you. Life may still bring challenges, but with inner responsibility, you meet them with strength and purpose, knowing that the power to shape your reality lies within you. There exists an invisible cord that connects all things, a web of energy, intention, and consciousness that binds the seen and the unseen. This cord is not tangible, yet its influence is undeniable. It weaves through our lives, linking our thoughts, emotions, and actions to the experiences we attract. To understand this invisible cord is to unlock a profound truth: everything is connected, and nothing happens in isolation. At its essence, this cord is the energy of consciousness. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, and every intention you set emits a vibration that extends outward into this unseen network. Like a ripple in water, your inner state affects the world around you, influencing circumstances, relationships, and opportunities. The invisible cord ensures that what you project into this web returns to you, often magnified. This is not a matter of chance, but a reflection of the energy you contribute to the interconnected whole. One of the most profound aspects of the invisible cord is its responsiveness to intention. Intention acts as a beacon, sending a clear signal into this vast network. When your intentions are rooted in clarity and belief, they resonate powerfully, attracting corresponding experiences into your life. This is why alignment is crucial. If your intentions are scattered or contradicted by doubt and fear, the signal you send becomes weak, and the results you receive may seem chaotic or mismatched. The invisible cord responds not just to what you desire, but to the energy with which you hold that desire. The cord also connects you to others, often in ways that are subtle but deeply influential. Every interaction you have with another person leaves an imprint in this energetic web. Whether positive or negative, the energy exchange between you and others forms invisible threads that influence your relationship dynamics. This is why you can sometimes feel a person's presence or emotional state even when they are not physically near. The connection through this invisible cord transcends physical boundaries, illustrating the profound interconnectedness of all beings. Your relationships, then, are reflections of the energy you carry within. If you approach others with love, understanding, and authenticity, you strengthen the positive threads of this invisible cord, fostering harmony and mutual growth. Conversely, when relationships are marked by conflict, fear, or manipulation, the cord becomes tangled, creating tension and discord. Recognizing your role in these connections empowers you to shift the energy you contribute, thereby transforming the quality of your interactions. The invisible cord also explains the phenomenon of synchronicity, those moments when seemingly unrelated events align in ways that feel purposeful or meaningful. Synchronicity is not a coincidence but a testament to the interconnectedness of all things. When your inner state aligns with the greater flow of this invisible web, you begin to attract experiences that resonate with your energy and intentions. These moments are reminders that the universe is constantly responding to the vibrations you emit, guiding you toward paths of growth and fulfillment. This connection extends beyond people and events to the natural world and the cosmos itself. The invisible cord binds you to the rhythms of nature, the cycles of the seasons, and the movement of the stars. When you feel drawn to the serenity of a forest or the vastness of the ocean, it is because you are attuned to this universal connection. Nature reflects the balance and harmony inherent in the invisible cord, reminding you of the importance of aligning your inner world with the greater whole. Understanding the invisible cord also reveals the importance of mindfulness. Since every thought, emotion, and action contributes to this web, it is essential to cultivate awareness of what you are sending into it. If negative patterns such as anger, resentment, or fear create disharmony in the cord, attracting experiences that mirror those energies. Conversely, practicing gratitude, compassion, and faith strengthens the positive threads, drawing abundance, joy, and peace into your life. The invisible cord teaches you that separation is an illusion. While it may appear that you are an isolated individual, distinct from others and the world around you, this cord reminds you that you are part of a greater whole. Your actions affect not only your immediate surroundings but also the broader web of existence. This awareness fosters a sense of responsibility and interconnectedness, urging you to live in harmony with yourself, others, and the universe. Embracing this truth requires trust in the unseen. The invisible cord cannot be measured or observed directly, yet its effects are unmistakable. Trusting in its presence means believing in the power of your thoughts, intentions, and energy to shape your reality. It means recognizing that the challenges and opportunities you encounter are not random but arise from the vibrations you send into this interconnected web. To live in alignment with the invisible cord is to honor the flow of life itself. It is to recognize that you are both a creator and a participant in this vast network, capable of influencing and being influenced by its energy. When you align your inner world with love, clarity, and purpose, the cord responds by bringing harmony and abundance into your life. This is not magic but the natural result of living in harmony with the universal laws that govern existence. The invisible cord is a reminder of your infinite potential. It connects you to every possibility, every person, and every experience you could ever imagine. By taking responsibility for the energy you contribute, you harness the power of this connection to create a life that reflects your highest aspirations. Trust in the core, nurture it with intention and love, and watch as it weaves a reality that mirrors the beauty and power within you. Awareness is the foundation of transformation and the gateway to a deeper understanding of life and self. It is more than just a momentary realization. It is the continuous state of being fully present, observing without judgment, and understanding the underlying patterns and truths that govern your experiences. Awareness is not something external that you acquire, but an innate quality that you awaken. Its role in your life is profound, as it holds the key to shifting your perceptions, mastering your emotions, and aligning with your true purpose. To be aware is to notice not only what happens around you, but also what transpires within you. Most people move through life on autopilot, guided by habitual thoughts and unconscious reactions. They become entangled in routines, unaware of the beliefs and assumptions that shape their decisions. Awareness breaks this cycle. It shines a light on the unseen forces that influence your thoughts, emotions, and actions, allowing you to discern whether they serve your highest good. By bringing these patterns into consciousness, awareness empowers you to choose differently, creating new pathways and possibilities. At its core, awareness is a practice of presence. It invites you to anchor yourself in the current moment, the only place where life truly unfolds. The mind often drifts to the past, replaying memories or projects into the future, creating scenarios that may never come to pass. This tendency to live outside the present moment breeds anxiety, regret, and dissatisfaction. Awareness draws you back to now, where clarity resides. In the present, you can observe without the distortions of fear or attachment, responding to life with wisdom rather than reacting impulsively. Awareness is also the bridge between your inner and outer worlds. Your external reality is a reflection of your inner state, and through awareness you can perceive this connection with clarity. For example, if you notice recurring challenges in your relationships, awareness helps you trace these patterns back to their roots within you. Are they born of fear, insecurity, or unhealed wounds? Awareness does not judge these findings but observes them with compassion, offering the opportunity for growth and healing. By addressing the source within, you transform the reflection without. In the realm of emotions, awareness plays a critical role in mastery and liberation. Many people are ruled by their emotions, swept away by waves of anger, sadness, or fear without understanding their origin. Awareness allows you to step back and observe these emotions as they arise, recognizing them as temporary states rather than permanent truths. This detachment does not mean suppression but acknowledgement. By naming and observing an emotion without identifying with it, you create space for it to pass, freeing yourself from its grip. Over time, this practice cultivates emotional resilience and balance. Awareness also unveils the power of thought. Thoughts are not random but arise from deeply held beliefs and perceptions. They carry energy and influence, shaping how you view yourself and the world. Without awareness, these thoughts run unchecked, creating self-fulfilling prophecies and reinforcing limiting beliefs. With awareness, you can examine your thoughts and discern their truth. Are they aligned with your goals and values, or are they remnants of fear or doubt? By consciously choosing empowering thoughts, you reshape your reality, directing your life toward fulfillment and success. In the context of relationships, awareness deepens connection and understanding. It helps you see beyond surface interactions to the underlying needs, desires, and fears that drive behavior, both yours and others. Instead of reacting defensively or making assumptions, awareness fosters empathy and communication. You begin to recognize the shared humanity in others, reducing conflict and building bridges of trust and compassion. Awareness also helps you set healthy boundaries, ensuring that your relationships honor your values and well-being. Awareness extends beyond the personal realm to encompass the larger tapestry of life. It reveals the interconnectedness of all things, reminding you that your actions, thoughts, and energy ripple out into the world. This understanding inspires a sense of responsibility and mindfulness in how you engage with others and the environment. You realize that your choices matter, not only to your life but to the collective experience of humanity. Awareness thus becomes a catalyst for living with purpose and integrity. Practicing awareness requires commitment and patience. It is not a destination but a journey, one that unfolds moment by moment. Meditation, mindfulness practices, and self-reflection are powerful tools for cultivating awareness. These practices train you to observe without judgment, to notice the subtle shifts in your thoughts and emotions, and to remain present even in the face of discomfort. Over time, awareness becomes second nature, a lens through which you view and engage with life. The transformative power of awareness lies in its ability to dissolve illusions. Many of the struggles and limitations you face are born of misperceptions and false identifications. You believe you are separate, powerless, or defined by your circumstances, but awareness shows you otherwise. It reveals your true nature as a creator, capable of shaping your life through conscious choice and intention. It reminds you that you are not your thoughts, emotions, or experiences, but the observer of them, infinite and unchanging. Awareness is the key to freedom. It frees you from the chains of unconscious patterns, the weight of past regrets, and the anxiety of future uncertainties. It empowers you to live authentically, guided by clarity and purpose. As you deepen your awareness, you align with the flow of life, discovering that everything you seek, peace, joy, and fulfillment, already exists within you. Through awareness, you become not just a participant in life, but a master of it, co-creating your reality with wisdom and grace. The first step in preserving your alignment is awareness. Without awareness, it is easy to become distracted by the noise of the world, expectations, opinions, and demands that pull you in multiple directions. When you lose sight of your center, you become reactive, allowing external circumstances to dictate your mood, decisions, and energy. Awareness grounds you, allowing you to observe these distractions without becoming consumed by them. It is a reminder to return to your inner compass, the guiding force that aligns you with your truest self. To maintain alignment, it is essential to guard your thoughts and emotions. Your thoughts are the seeds of your reality. They shape your beliefs and actions. Negative or limiting thoughts can create resistance, pulling you out of alignment. Similarly, emotions such as fear, anger, or doubt can cloud your perspective, causing you to act from a place of disconnection. Preserving alignment requires that you become a diligent observer of your mental and emotional landscape. When you notice thoughts or feelings that do not serve your highest good, you have the power to shift them. This does not mean ignoring or suppressing them, but choosing to focus on those that uplift and inspire you. Boundaries are another crucial aspect of preserving alignment. Your energy is precious, and not everyone or everything deserves access to it. Without boundaries, you risk becoming entangled in situations or relationships that drain you, leaving little room for self-nurturing and growth. Setting boundaries is not about building walls. It is about creating space for what aligns with your values and purpose. It is an act of self-respect, ensuring that your time, energy, and attention are directed toward what truly matters. Another key to preserving alignment is honoring your body, mind, and spirit. Your physical health impacts your mental clarity and emotional stability. Eating nourishing foods, engaging in regular movement, and getting sufficient rest create a strong foundation for alignment. Similarly, practices that nurture your mind and spirit, such as meditation, journaling, or time in nature, strengthen your connection to your inner self. When you neglect these aspects of your well-being, you may find it harder to stay aligned, as imbalance in one area often affects the others. Alignment also requires trust in yourself, in the universe, and in the unfolding of your journey. There will be times when circumstances seem to test your patience and faith. You may question whether you are on the right path or feel tempted to force outcomes. In these moments, preserving alignment means surrendering to the process and remembering that everything is unfolding as it should. Trust allows you to release the need for control and remain anchored in the present, knowing that your intentions and energy are guiding you toward your highest good. Practicing gratitude is another powerful way to maintain alignment. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, reminding you of the blessings and opportunities in your life. It raises your vibration, aligning you with the energy of love, joy, and prosperity. When you express gratitude, you strengthen your connection to the universal flow, attracting more of what resonates with your highest self. Gratitude is not just an occasional practice, but a daily habit that keeps you centered and aligned. In conclusion, alignment is the sacred thread that weaves together your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the essence of who you truly are. Preserving it requires consistent self-awareness, intentional boundaries, and a deep commitment to honoring your authenticity. It is about living in harmony with your inner truth, trusting the unfolding of your journey, and remaining steadfast in your purpose, even amidst challenges. Alignment is not just a state of being, it is the key to creating a life of peace, joy, and fulfillment. Thank you for taking this journey inward, for reflecting on the power of alignment, and for committing to nurturing this sacred connection. May you walk your path with clarity, grace, and unwavering faith in the infinite possibilities that lie ahead. Thank you. Thank you.